Sending that one forward, finds Carter Lowe through the neutral zone. Lowe waits, takes the shot, kicks side, rebound, scores! Cole Bodwin!
Four matchups this season between the two teams, and all of them have been pretty exciting outside of that 6-0 blowout that the Barrie Colts suffered last time they were here in Owen Sound. But with the amount of time since we've last been here, a lot of things have changed on both sides. I mean, the last time we were here, Barrie was near the bottom, and you were wondering if it was maybe just not their year. And for Owen Sound, they looked unbeatable, but now maybe things are different this year.
Yeah, it's two teams heading in, it seems like opposite directions as the Barrie Colts right now riding that 9-game point streak. Well, the Owen Sound Attack, just one win over their last 10 games. Both teams played last night. The Attack losing just by a single goal to the London Knights, while the Barrie Colts, they were tied 2-2 after the second period, but found a way to come back.
Yeah, there was a tight game there for Barrie, and it kind of followed the same script as every game that's gone since the trade deadline. They come out flying in the first, and then the second period's a bit skittish. There's some too many chances probably given up, but then in the third period, they just shut things down on the opposing team. And then for Owen Sound, they do have a bit of an advantage. They got that early start yesterday at 4 p.m., but it was a pretty tough game against the London Knights yesterday, so it'll be interesting to see how they respond after losing that game late.
Now, it's always quite the matchup when these two teams go head-to-head. It's the Battle of Highway 26, and the last time the Barrie Colts were here, it was a lopsided affair as the Owen Sound Attack, they dominated that hockey game, and you have to figure that a lot of players on this team for the Barrie Colts, they're going to have memories of that and want to have some retribution and have some payback here at the Bayshore.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that game, it wasn't as bad as it looked, I thought. Like, it was close for the first half of the game, and then Owen Sound kind of started blowing things out. They definitely deserved to win and probably deserved to win by a couple goals, but 6-0 was quite the game there for Owen Sound. And yeah, the Barrie Colts, they haven't had a great fate here at the Harry Lumley Bayshore yet this season. 6-0 loss the last time, and then a high-scoring game the game before, losing 6-4.
Now, we're going to talk a bit about it in game notes coming up, but the line of Cole Bodwin, Emil Hemming, and Ben Wilmot. Their chemistry has been something else, and it's hard to believe they've only been playing together now for 2 weeks, and we saw it in the third period last night, just how much dialed in they were and the connections and the passes. This line is humming right now.
Well, it's similar to when Emil Hemming returned, and you looked at it and you thought, wow, Bodwin and Hemming, they haven't played together in a while. They just clicked right away. Ben Wilmot came in, and he looked like a guy that had played with the Bodwin and Hemming for months. Like, the way they immediately connected, and Wilmot, that goal streak finally ended last night. He only had 12 goals when he came over to the Barrie Colts. So the way he's been playing, you'd think he'd have had like 25 goals by now. But for Wilmot, another great game last night as well. Beautiful pass there late in the game on that goal by Emil Hemming, and Cole Bodwin a great job on that play as well, just wrestling through a couple of defenders to get that extra goal.
Yeah, so we'll see what's in store here this afternoon at the Bayshore. And while we have a moment, let's go to our coach's corner as we catch up with Barrie Colts head coach Dylan Smoskowitz, presented by Mariposa School of Skating. Catching up with Barrie Colts head coach Dylan Smoskowitz, and the Colts last night coming off a big win over the Oshawa Generals. It seemed as though the second period may have gotten a little away from the team. Ended up being 2-2, but are you proud of the guys and how they fought back to get that 5-3 victory?
Really proud of the guys, and you could take a lot of learning out of that game. For 2 periods, the first and third, we played to our identity, we played to our strengths, we stuck to the game plan, and I think the scoring chances after the first were 7-1, and the scoring chances after the third were 9-2. That second period, we try to kind of do some things that aren't really within our structure, and they actually outchance us and get themselves back in the game. So for our guys to realize that, to regroup, there were some really good conversations from our leadership group that took place during that second intermission, and for the guys to regroup and come out. I mean, I thought those first 2 shifts of the third were probably the 2 best shifts of our entire season. So very, very proud of the guys for understanding that, recognizing it, and then turning the page.
And talk a bit about the chemistry that's building pretty quickly here. Hemming, Bodwin, and Wilmot. It seems like they've been playing together forever with the way they were in that third period.
Yeah, those 3 are doing something pretty special right now. I mean, as a coach, as a hockey lover, it's just fun to watch those guys. I'm really enjoying with my assistant coaches breaking down the video after and watching how many good things they do. What I'll say too is, a lot of people are saying, it's Bodwin and Hemming, the 2 first-round picks, and Wilmot's along for the ride, and that couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, we bring this kid in, this Benny Wilmot. We liked him, of course, why we traded for him, but I think that Benny's addition to the line has really elevated, both Kobo and Hem's games. They all really feed off each other. Again, what they do on the ice really complements their character and personality off the ice. There's a really good threesome. So again, we're just going to ride it for as long as we can.
And it's tough to teach, that kind of chemistry for these guys. And even for Zabeski and Von Richter coming in, playing the heavy game, it seems like they're already playing Barrie Colts hockey before they even got here.
It makes my job so much easier, and all the credit goes to Marty Williams. I mean, it's GMs and coaches often have to be on the same page, and I think that me and Marty's relationship really allows us to kind of think the same way without even having to discuss it. But he brought me as a coach. He brought me 3 guys who play Barrie Colt hockey, and he made my job very easy. You don't have to break any bad habits. You don't have to teach them how we do it over here. Just put a Barrie Colt jersey on them. It's they were born to wear it, and then they go out and they're 3 of our hardest workers on a nightly basis. So as a coach, it's a blessing.
And this afternoon, now preparing for the Owen Sound attack, a team that's been struggling. I know you don't want to overlook a team like this, so how important is it? Again, I know we've talked about it before. You got to focus on today, win the day. So is that another situation here against this attack team?
It always is. It always is, and it's not an easy task. Playing at home last night with a late game and getting on the bus early morning and playing a 2 o'clock game the next day. Owen Sound had a home game at 4 o'clock. They were already showered up before the puck even dropped in Barrie last night. So again, advantage goes to them. But you got to remember at the start of the year when these guys had our number. They had our number in exhibition season. They had our number the first 3 games of the season. They beat us up pretty good over here a while back. So I know some guys, they've got a pretty long-lasting memory, and I hope they kind of use that as extra fuel today.
So that was Barrie Colts head coach Dylan Smoskowitz talking about how the Owen Sound attack have really had Barrie's number in that first half of the season. He mentioned the preseason and those first 2 games of the Bayshore. It was a different attack team at that point, and Dylan also talks about Barrie Colt hockey, and it kind of reminds me of that physical style we see from teams like, say, the Florida Panthers, heavy on the forecheck, increase the hitting, the tempo, and whatnot. So it's this Barrie Colts team. He keeps talking about the Barrie Colts hockey style, and you're kind of seeing it with how things have been these last few games.
Yeah, definitely. I think when teams like the Florida Panthers come around, they win a couple playoff or win a couple championships. All these teams want to try and replicate that, and some of the teams go the wrong way, and they get too many slower guys that are not really too physical. But some teams do it the right way, and the Barrie Colts have done a good job of playing that style of hockey that Dylan Smoskowitz wants them playing. They're a bunch of big guys. They can lay the body, they can make hits, but they're also really good on the forecheck, really good on the cycle. I remember watching the Florida Panthers in the Stanley Cup Finals beat my Oilers the last 2 years, and anytime you get into a battle against the boards, the Florida Panthers, they don't let you get the puck out of the zone. They keep it in the zone, and that's the type of play the Barrie Colts want to play, and as well, I think it's all about offense into defense. It doesn't have to be a full offensive effort for 60 minutes. There can be moments where you just play a defensive effort and shut things down. They've done a great job as that as well. They've done a great job as Dylan Smoskowitz likes to say, winning the day. That's his favorite thing. And I don't know if it's helped the Colts, but last season there were some games down the stretch that you figured, okay, the Barrie Colts have to win this game. They're playing Peterborough's near the bottom of the league. They're playing Owen Sound near the bottom of the league, and they lost those games. But you haven't really seen that this year with the Barrie Colts. They play Oshawa last night, but they didn't just fall into a trap. They took it to the Generals. I know it was a tight game, but that's only because of Matthew Humphries. I mean, 45 shots. The Colts could have made it an ugly effort last night.
Yeah, and I was just going to say the goaltending for Oshawa was top notch, and I'm still surprised Matthew Humphries still doesn't have a win this season.
The poor guy is 0-18 on his career.
But his numbers,
he's so good. Watching him last night, I think either every goal or basically every goal, he makes a huge save on one play, and then the defense just doesn't help him out, and there's a guy loose for a rebound.
Yeah, and Cole Bodwin did that last night. They get the go-ahead game winner against the Oshawa Generals, but also coming off that win against the Flint Firebirds, a team that's tops in the Western Conference, and the physical play, the forecheck, really tired the Firebirds out. And I think that's, if you're a Barrie Colts fan, you got to be excited about this Barrie Colts style of hockey we keep hearing about because it's been on full display. And it's getting the wins right now.
Yeah, it is. And for Flint, they're a team that's known for their offense, not known for their defense. So they're trying to play a run and gun style, get as many chances off the rush, and get as many goals as possible. And for the Barrie Colts, though, they took advantage of Flint's defense. They were able to get the goals, and then when Flint tried to come back the other way, for the most part, Barrie was able to shut down those opportunities. When Flint got the opportunities, they were able to capitalize on a few of them. But outside of that, the Colts did a really good job on Thursday. Now, playing Oshawa last night, 20th in the league, and Owen Sound today, who's 1-9 in their last 10 and really struggling. It really feels like if you don't take advantage of these two games and win them, that win against Flint doesn't mean as much to you.
Exactly. So it's going to be a big test here this afternoon at the Bayshore, and the two teams now on the ice getting ready for this hockey game. And I see everyone there excited about Dylan Smoskowitz, Sammy, and Liam. And we had this conversation on the drive to Owen Sound. Should Dylan Smoskowitz be considered Coach of the Year? Is he an early candidate, especially with the way the Colts have been playing this season?
Yeah, I think you look at Brantford. I mean, Jay McKee, he's a great coach, but they kind of have a super team going there. They traded for so many guys. I think Dave Cameron, obviously, in Ottawa is going to get a lot of consideration. I think Flash and Flint as well is a good candidate as well. But for Dylan Smoskowitz, he's done a really good job with this Barrie Colts team this season, and he's got them playing the right way. So I think definitely he should be a candidate, especially for a rookie head coach to have a team in this situation right now.
Well, it's an interesting conversation to have, and I'm sure as we go along in the second half towards the playoffs, that conversation's only going to get louder depending on how the Colts do between now and the playoffs. Because right now, 5 points back of both Brantford and Ottawa for top spot in the Eastern Conference standings. Obviously, the Bulldogs and 67s loading up the trade deadline, so you know that gap is going to be hard to overcome. But that's where you mentioned you have to win these games against teams like Oshawa, like Owen Sound, and then, of course, Niagara coming up on Thursday.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and you also have Brampton next Saturday. I mean, for the Barrie Colts, if you can take advantage of this game, win today, win against Niagara, win against Brampton, you can kind of survive with losing that Brantford game as long as they put in a good effort. Obviously, you want to win that game, but as long as you just show, hey, we can compete with these guys, I think that's a pretty good week for the Barrie Colts.
So we're getting ready for a puck drop here at the Bayshore between the Colts and the Attack. So we're going to take a quick break, but when we return, we will have the first period action here live from the Bayshore. Today. So we are just about ready to go for the first period of play between the Barrie Colts and the Owen Sound Attack. And while we hold at the moment, let's take a look at our starting goaltenders presented by Craighurst Crossing by Georgian Communities. New homes, minutes from North Barrie, where inspired living meets small town charm.
Well, back in the net for the Barrie Colts is Ben Horebic, making his 30th appearance of the season. Horebic 17-7-2-3 on the year with a 929 save percentage and a 266 goals against average. He's coming off a strong 29 of 32 performance in a victory over Flint on Thursday. For the Owen Sound Attack, Trenton Bennett getting into his 15th appearance of the year. Bennett 6-5-1-0 on the season with an 890 save percentage and a 4.30 goals against average. Bennett stopped 42 of 48 in a 7-4 loss last Saturday against Kitchener, and as well made the last start between these two teams, taking the loss, allowing 4 goals.
Our referees tonight, Alex Ross and Andrew Wilmot. And on the lines, we've got Brad Moran and Brock Perry as we are set to go. The Colts go at the top line of Baudouin, Hemming, and Wilmot up against Crawford, Nancy, and Bowie, and we are underway. Face-off won by the Colts as Aitchison takes it back into his own zone. Passmore fans on that pass attempt, but he's able to follow it up and send it into the Owen Sound end. The attack back to pick it up. That's Rogers. He'll give that one up. Roberts. He'll skate this one out of his zone, passes it up to Mason Ray. Ray dumping this one in, ends up behind the Barrie net. Hrebeck can't get a stick on it. There's the shot. Hrebeck makes the save, pucks at the side of the net. And Hrebeck, he will cover it up as Owen Sound getting the first opportunity.
Well, for the Owen Sound attack, it's our first look at them since after the trade deadline, and Colts got to be pretty happy knowing that they no longer have to face Carter George unless the Sioux Greyhounds and the Barrie Colts match up in the OHL finals. The Barrie Colts will never have to deal with Carter George putting on some ridiculous 49 of 50 performance against them.
It still seems so odd being here, seeing the Owen Sound attack, and no Carter George. Yeah. He was just a staple, and I know that was pretty hard for the fan base here in Owen Sound to see their goaltender sent away at the trade deadline. Colts win the face-off. They're going to send this to the line, captained by Greenberg. Max DeLille sends it forward, gets it back. DeLille takes the shot, stopped by Hrebeck. Rebound, pucks at the side of the net. As Hrebeck will cover it up. Max DeLille getting a couple of chances there.
Well, I think as well, the interesting thing with guys like George and David Bekowski traded at the deadline, the Owen Sound attack are the biggest example of the new rules this season. I mean, both those guys get traded because Dale DeGray believed they would be going to the NCAA soon enough. And as well, you know, we talked about it in pregame or before the game, Owen Sound being really good next season. Well, they may not be able to be if all their guys go off to the NCAA.
Well, for example, Pierce Bowie with his NCAA commitment for next season, you know, does he come back? Because that's a big piece for the attack. As they have it, here's Max DeLille. He has it again. Face-off dot. Takes the shot. Blocked by Zabeski. Mason Zabeski picks it up. He's going to send it to the line. Captained by Greenberg. Greenberg takes the shot. Stopped by Hrebeck. Loose puck collected by Crombie. Calvin Crombie skates this one ahead. Puts it off the boards into the Owen Sound zone. Zorowski can't get to it. Crombie puts it in front, but no one was there. Zabeski fires this one across. Brad Gardner will collect it for the Colts. Back to the line, Eliasson. He's going to send this one around. Mason Zabeski in front of Crombie. His shot stopped by Bennett. And that's going to go out of play as that's the first opportunity of the game here for the Barrie Colts.
Well, pretty good opportunity for Crombie. They're getting loose right out front of Bennett. And that second line's been pretty strong here over the last week. And felt like that first weekend together, they were getting the chances but couldn't find the back of the net. But then last night, Brad Gardner opened the scoring for the Colts. They got on the board.
Well, Mason Zabeski still looking for his first goal as a member of the Barrie Colts after being acquired from the Brampton Steelheads. Colts win the draw. Von Richter shot blocked in front. That went off Banks. Attack can't get it out. Von Richter takes the shot. Stopped in front. Carter Lowe was trying to get the deflection, but Bennett, he's able to hold on.
We're going to talk to Carter Lowe at the first intermission. And that conversation, we talked about this line he's been on as of late with William Schneid and either Jake Newton or Joe Salandra, and he laughed and said, you know, feels like we're getting the chances, but we can't find the back of the net.
Well, if he keeps parking himself in front, those opportunities are going to keep coming. As that line's still out there for the Barrie Colts, William Schneid has it in the corner, takes the shot, that's blocked. Von Richter keeps it in the zone. Parker Von Richter down low. He'll peel it around. He's got Schneid at the point. Von Richter plays it around behind the Owen Sound net. Newton picks it up for the Colts. Back to Hanser. Justin Hanser back in the lineup after missing last night's game in Barrie. He'll send this one back to Von Richter. Parker Von Richter riding the blue line, takes the shot. That's blocked. Loose puck. Champ scores. William Schneid finds the back of the net as Von Richter put it towards the goal, and Schneid benefits by getting to that loose puck.
Well, nice look there. Looked like Von Richter's shot may have been blocked, and then it deflected. Von Richter comes up the wing and then going to spin back to the point and then just trying to send it down low. It hits a body, and no one on the Owen Sound side covering William Schneid, who was left wide open. Two guys kind of covering Carter Lowe there down low. That left Schneid wide open for his second goal of the weekend.
Well, you're just talking about how Carter Lowe is saying they haven't been getting the goals, and then this line opens the scoring here this afternoon at the Bayshore. 1-0 William Schneid with his 10th goal of the season. Owen Sound will win the face-off. Kindry can't get a stick on it. That's going to sail back into the Barrie zone. And it's an icing call against the Attack, so they'll bring this one back.
One thing that's going to be something to watch for throughout this game is if the Barrie Colts can get a lot of chances against this Owen Sound Attack team. Trenton Bennett, an 890 save percentage, it's all right, but you look at the goals against average, 430. That's not something you usually see out of a goaltender with a .89 to a 900 save percentage.
Well, he's probably the tallest goaltender in the league, standing at 6'8". So he's got that size. So he's just working into his game as Aitchison fires, stopped by Bennett. He'll pounce on that one as the Barrie Colts just suddenly taking over as they're just peppering shots right now at Tristan Bennett.
Well, the Owen Sound Attack, they coming off a game yesterday against London. They were in it throughout, and they kind of gave it their all, but they give up a late goal, and they lose that game to London, and it'll be interesting to see how they're able to respond here today.
So that's a big game for the Western Conference standings, trying to catch the London Knights. So that was a big 2 points on the line here, but this Attack team, they've been struggling. 1 win over their last 10 games. Face-off won by the Colts. Govro goes around the Owen Sound net, sends it to the blue line to Aitchison. Aitchison hits the brakes, skates this one forward towards the net. In front, loose puck, but Govro can't settle it down. Aitchison gets it again here for the Colts in the corner. Govro trying to send this one around. That was blocked. Zarowski has it. He'll send it back, and the Attack move it out. Far side, Kindry got a stick on it, so no icing. Hrebeck out of his net to play it. He'll send this one around, but it's knocked down by Zarowski. Kayshawn Aitchison up to Luke Govro. Govro sends it out to center. Desiderio trying to settle it down. Greenberg took it away. Noah Roberts decided to hit the brakes. He's facing some pressure there from Eamon Edgar. But now both teams will make changes as the Attack set up behind their own net. Roberts still with it. He'll give this one up, skating it forward. That's Jake Crawford. He's going to send it deep. Hrebeck out of his net to play it. Gives it up to Emerton. Paul Emerton. Long stretch pass deflected. He's trying to get it to Wilmot. Wilmot behind the Owen Sound net. He'll pick it up. Ben Wilmot passes it. Went off the official. And the Attack will get it out. Ray chasing after it here for Owen Sound. Cut off by Eliasson. Gabriel Eliasson puts this one off the end boards to Emerton. Colts move this one out. Picking up at center. That's Emil Hemming. He's got Wilmot going to the net. Hemming backhand. Puts that one wide. Hemming gets it again here for the Barrie Colts from the far corner. Sets it back to Hanser at the blue line. Takes the shot, blocked in front. Bodwin was trying to get a stick on it as the Attack move it out. Ray will clear this one into the zone right on net. Hrebeck guides that to the corner. Justin Hanser facing some pressure. Hits it again at center. His pass off of Crombie. Nancy. He can't hold on to it. Loose puck collected by the Colts at the Owen Sound blue line. Crombie takes a hit. That was Julian Brown who delivered that check. Mason Zabeski, backhand pass to Crombie in the neutral zone. He'll skate this one in. Crombie, he loses the handle of it. He had Brown in the way. The Attack will send it around. Zabeski stops it at the half boards. Hanser's there as well, trying to send it forward. Zabeski to the corner for Gardner. Gardner back to the line for Von Richter. His shot's blocked. Puck comes to the near point for Hanser. Hanser sending this one down low to Zabeski. Zabeski, he's tied up. Crombie puts it in front. No one there for the Colts. Pierce Bowie will skate this one forward for Owen Sound. Up to Tristan DeLille. DeLille hits the brakes. Back to Sikora. Sikora sends this one over. There's the shot. And that's blocked by Von Richter. That was Arnett who fired that one. Colts get it out to the neutral zone where it's picked up by Banks. Banks fanning on it as he's trying to set things up. Zabeski on the forecheck. John Banks forced to set up behind his own net as we're past the 5-minute mark of the first period. 1-0 for the Barrie Colts. William Schneid, the goal scorer so far. DeLille through the neutral zone. Skates this one in for the Attack. That's going to go back behind the Barrie net. Passmore takes a bump. Far side Arnett. He'll send this one around. Tristan DeLille chasing after the loose puck. Newton gets to it first. He's hit hard. Newton is down. Aitchison dropping the gloves. He's going toe-to-toe with Wesley Royston. Royston's got that right free. Aitchison trying to deliver. Gets a couple of shots. Royston over the top. These two going head-to-head uppercuts from Aitchison as Royston's trying to hold on. Aitchison delivering with those rights, and the linesman will separate those two. As Kayshawn Aitchison showing the heavyweight belt to the Owen Sound Attack bench. As he stood up for Jaden Newton, who was rocked along the boards. And Aitchison's going right down the tunnel.
I'm guessing he's probably getting an instigator penalty on this one, and Newton looked like he was all right afterwards as Looked like that was a pretty even bout for about the first half, but then Aitchison took things over and obviously wanting to defend your teammate, but then that conversation comes in again with the instigator penalty and the trade-off of Wesley Royston for Kayshawn Aitchison here.
Well, I don't think there was going to be a penalty for Royston's hit along the boards. So I don't, because right now Cole Bodwin having a conversation with the official and he keeps shaking his head. So I don't think there was going to be a penalty for the hit. As they're showing the replay on the scoreboard here at center ice. But that's one thing about Kayshawn Aitchison. He'll always stand up for his teammates. He's not afraid to mix it up and take on a guy like Royston.
Yeah, good on Aitchison there. And looks like he's the only penalty coming out of this. Wondered if they could look at it for a potential check from behind, but sometimes we've seen in the past in these situations where they'll come together and just decide to call the 5 just to get a second look at it, but it doesn't look like they're going to do that here.
Well, but sometimes they'll even talk to the linesmen to see what they saw. As right now getting a conversation to Scott Ray for the Owen Sound attack. He seems to be okay with the conversation with Andrew Wilmets. But it's going to be a power play here for the Owen Sound attack. Now, Owen Sound, they do have the second best power play in the OHL, operating at 26.5%. Well, penalty kill for Barrie, now 9th at 79.9%. So the Colts right away get it down the length of the ice. So we won't be seeing Kayshawn Aitchison for a while here as Zarowski will skate it out for Owen Sound. Zarowski passing that one over to Crawford. That's deflected. Crawford gets it again. He'll send this one around the boards. After it in the corner. Greenberg puts that one down low. Mason Ray back to the blue line for Greenberg. Greenberg back to Ray. Quick pass picked off by Hemming. And he's going to send this one down the length of the ice. Power play down to 1:19. And serving the penalty is Eamon Edgar. Greenberg through the neutral zone. That's stopped at the line, but Crawford sends it deep. Von Richter takes it away. Colts with possession. Here's Mason Zabeski. Had his pocket picked. Had to be careful there. He had Max DeLille all over him. Zarowski at the point. Passes it to Greenberg. Greenberg to Ray. Time and scores. Mason Ray finds the back of the net on the power play. And this game is tied at 1.
Good look there for Mason Ray of Owen Sound to tie the game. And Zarowski starts it on the point. Coming up the wing, he'll send it across to Greenberg coming through the middle, and then Ray left open there for the one-timer. Rebick unable to get across. Good job there by Zarowski, able to fight off Zabeski at the point and tie this game at 1.
So the Owen Sound attack able to capitalize on the Kayshawn Aitchison instigator penalty. As it's tied at 1. Mason Ray, that's 8 goals on the season, and it's a brand new game with 13:27 left to go in the first period. Face-off won by the Colts. Parker Von Richter will give this to Hanser. Justin Hanser reaches the blue line, passes ahead. Desiderio dumps it in. That's going to go around the boards. Arnett gives chase. Crombie can't get a stick on it. Attack, get it out. Desiderio at center takes the hit there from Sikora. Desiderio breaks his stick after that hit. Colts send it deep. Julian Brown, first one on it here for Owen Sound. He's going to play it around his own net, being pressured there by Gardner. Puck taken over there by Desiderio. Gardner digs it free. Trying to move this one around. Desiderio gets it again. He's in a battle with Tristan DeLille. Desiderio still trying to move it. That one takes a weird bounce off the boards. Desiderio taken into the boards by Arnett. An attack, moving it along the boards. Trying to get this one out. That's Pierce Bowie. He's going to go back to his defense. That's deflected out to center. Hanser knocks this one ahead. Sikora up to Bowie. Bowie enters the zone on the far side. Von Richter puts on the pressure. Stands up Pierce Bowie. Along the boards, Calvin Crombie. His pass picked off by Sikora. Sikora will send it back into his own zone. Braden Rogers is there to collect it for Owen Sound. Sikora. He's going to go back behind his own net. Get some momentum. Jaden Newton is back on the ice. So good news there for Barrie Colts fans. As that's going to be sent deep. Rebick sending this one around. That'll get to the line and out. Banks there to settle it down for the attack. In his own zone with it. That's Blake Munnings. Owen Sound trying to move it out. Pass is taken away. Here's a chance for Carter Lowe. His shot just goes over the net. There's a quick turnover there. This line has been buzzing. Schneid, Newton, and Lowe. At the blue line, it's Emerton. To Eliason. Takes the shot. That's blocked, and that'll sail out to the neutral zone. Cole Emerton back to pick it up here for the Barrie Colts. Emerton sends this one ahead to William Schneid. Schneid into the boards. Plays it to Carter Lowe. Lowe settles it. Takes the shot. Scores! Carter Lowe finds the back of the net. That's now 2 goals this afternoon for this line.
Oh, it was just about 2 hours before the game. Carter Lowe was talking about how they haven't been able to find the back of the net. I think they're starting to now. Good work by Schneid, battling there against the boards, gets it loose to Lowe, and Owen Sound maybe thinking he was going to pass it up to Jaden Newton coming through the middle, but Lowe fakes that, gets the shot off, and it's 2-1 thanks to the third line.
You know what's going to happen? Carter Lowe's going to want more interviews with you.
We're going to show up Thursday, and he's just going to be sitting there waiting for me.
So it is a 2-1 hockey game. Carter Lowe gets the go-ahead goal with 11:18 still to play in the first. Another shot from the point from Passmore is stopped by Bennett as he'll hold on to it. We've had a lot of action to start this hockey game, and are we really surprised when it's the Battle of Highway 26?
No, it's been 4 great games already this season, and it looks like we're in store for a 5th really good one, and be interesting to see over the next 10 to 15 minutes how the Barrie Colts manage their defense. Of course, you got Parker Von Richter on the back end that can play a lot of minutes, but with only 2 left-handed defensemen, Justin Hanser and Gabriel Elias, they're probably going to get some big minutes here while Kayshawn Aitchison sits.
Yeah, it's that instigator penalty, so the 2, 5, and 10. But we will see Kayshawn Aitchison later in this hockey game, as that kind of set a spark here in this hockey game. That hit from Royston, he was picked up, remember, from the Erie Otters for that purpose, to bring that physical edge, because Owen Sound, they want this to be a very difficult place for opponents to play. They want to play that physical game, but Kayshawn Aitchison, he's willing to answer the bell.
Yeah, for Royston, it was one of those deals where you look at it face on, like Royston for Michael Deck, and you were kind of wondering why the attack would do that. Well, they had enough guys scoring that they thought, well, we can sacrifice one. Well, then they trade Michael Deck, and like 3 guys immediately get injured, and then the scoring's kind of slowed down, but Leslie Royston obviously added for that. A note on Aitchison as well, for those that don't know, the 10, 5, and 2 are all separate, so it's not like they all start at the same time, so he does have to sit for 17 minutes.
So we should see him back in the second period of play. So bit of a rest there for Kayshawn Aitchison, as it's a 2-1 hockey game. The attack moving into the Barrie zone, but that's going to be offside with 11:02 still to go in the first period.
It's one of the more interesting penalties, obviously, because you have 3 different penalties. They don't all go at the same time, so it's not like the 10-minute misconduct. He's back in 10 minutes. He's back in 17.
So face off outside the Barrie blue line, won by the attack. Rogers, he'll send this one into the zone. Around the boards it goes. It's Parker Von Richter who comes up with it, sends it ahead for Hemming. That's picked off. The attack with it, that's Crawford. In front, that pass doesn't connect, and that's going to sail out to center. Rogers passing this one over. That's Noah Roberts. Back to Rogers. That one trying to get to Mason Ray. Got a piece of it, or I thought he did. And they're going to call this an icing call against Owen Sound.
Well, the third line, one of the reasons the Barrie Colts have really taken off over the last couple of weeks. Obviously, they were playing good hockey before that, but there were some games where they were winning 3-2 because Baudouin got one, Hemming got one, Aitchison got one. But now it really feels like even when those guys aren't scoring, they still have other guys stepping up and getting those goals for the team that's allowed them to reach an even higher height.
Face off to the left of Bennett, won by the Colts. Here's Von Richter. Takes the shot, deflected, and that's going to go out of play. So now the attack will be able to make that line change with that puck going out of play.
Eamon Edgar back in the lineup again today. Had a pretty solid game yesterday, and with Joe Salandra out of the lineup yesterday, and now today he was on the top power play unit yesterday, and a real nice pass to set up Cole Baudouin for a goal yesterday in the first period.
Well, Edgar out there right now to take the faceoff against Tristan DeLille, one of the top faceoff men in the OHL. As DeLille wins that faceoff, the attack get it out to center, knocked down by Hanser. Hanser sends us into the zone, ends up going behind the Owen Sound net. Govro's there. Louis on the far side takes the hit. DeLille trying to get it out. Puck's bouncing up the line, sends it back, taken in there by Passmore. Evan Passmore at the line. He'll just send this one deep Desiderio is there for Barrie. Along the boards, tied up, sends it back. I don't think Passmore saw it. Went through his skates. Sikora gets this one out and down the ice. Hanser looking over his shoulder. Plays this one around the net to Evan Passmore. Off the boards, Desiderio comes up with it for Barrie. He'll skate this one in. Desiderio sets up Edgar. Edgar back to Desiderio. One-timer off the post! Nicholas Desiderio strikes iron. Now the attack come the other way. Tristan DeLille. Backhand pass to Sikora. He's stopped by Von Richter. Paul Emerton behind his own net. He'll skate this one up. Long stretch pass to Brad Gardner. Gardner enters the zone. He's got Zabeski going to the net. Leaves it there for Emerton. Emerton's pass off a skate side of the net. Zabeski goes around the Owen Sound net. That's taken away there by Roberts. Back to the blue line. Parker Von Richter keeps it in. Emerton, one-timer, stopped by Bennett. The attack trying to get this one out of the zone. They will, as Max DeLille avoids a hard hit from Von Richter. Here's Zarowski, stopped by Harevic. Puck's still loose. Now they get the whistle. As Parker Von Richter delivering the big check, but Cole Zarowski still getting a great chance.
Yeah, great job by Zarowski, the Barrie native, getting in past Von Richter there for the breakaway, but Ben Harevic made the save, and before that, the fourth line with a nice look as well. Eamon Edgar, the trailer there, comes through the middle, and a nice pass, just calmly flips it over to Desiderio for the one-timer, and was able to beat Bennett, but not the post.
So Royston coming back on the ice after that fight with Aitchison. So the attack tapping their sticks in appreciation for that matchup.
Didn't look like he knew whether he was supposed to come off or not.
He's trying to figure out where he's supposed to be. Puck ends up behind the Colts net. Emerton takes a bump. Max DeLille trying to move it. He's tied up by Von Richter. Emerton digs it free, gives it to Calvin Crombie. Crombie passes it up. That's knocked away from Gardner by Arnett. Arnett bumped off the puck. Gardner gets the loose puck. He'll send it back to Von Richter. Near side for Emerton. Cole Emerton. Backhand pass sends this one deep into the Owen Sound zone. Julian Brown's there to pick it up. Brown from the corner. He'll just put it back to his defense as Elliot Arnett will regroup. Both teams making changes. 8:20 left to go in the first period. 2-1 for the Barrie Colts. Goals from William Schneid and Carter Lowe. Puck goes behind the Barrie net. Picked up here by Eliasson. Trying to turn it around. Taken away there by Ray. Mason Ray will send it back to Banks. Takes the shot. That's blocked over the net. Into the corner they go. Carter Lowe trying to dig it free. Schneid is there. He's tied up. Lowe is able to pass this one up to Jaden Newton. Newton leaves it for Passmore. Passmore losing it in his skates. And that's going to be offside against the Barrie Colts. As Evan Passmore just lost sight of it.
Mentioned Carter Lowe with the goal there. Feels like he's played some better hockey since the trade deadline. He's had a bit of a tough first half. He had 3 goals in his first 5 games, and then from there he really slowed down after that. But since the trade deadline, he's had some good opportunities. Hasn't been able to get a goal till tonight, but he still looks really good.
Yeah, he's going to be counted upon in this stretch on that third line as that puck into the rafters here, as it's a very low ceiling here at the Bayshore. So we'll get a whistle. Heard that thud.
Well, we were lucky that the U.S. flag was already put up for us. We're not going to get yelled at this time.
Yeah, it's just the unique quirks of the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center. Our job with the American flag pregame and then the low ceiling.
It's hard to see underneath here.
This is a very cozy press box. Puck goes to the corner. Colts with it. Here's Cole Beaudoin. Takes the shots. And Bennett able to make the glove save as he'll hold on. Shots right now favoring the Barrie Colts 6-5.
You know, you got the cozy press box, a bit tight. You got the scenic view outside of the media room.
Yeah,
downstairs
you see the harbor from the press room. Well, also Mike Farwell did his video about the French fries here at the Bayshore. So you're going to go out in the second admission and you're going to test that theory about how these are apparently the best French fries in the OHL.
We're going to have a French fries.
There we go. Face-off won by the Colts. They send this one down low. Rogers turns it over. Wilmot back to Hanser. Justin Hanser will trade places with Von Richter. Down to Wilmot, back to Von Richter. Quickly near side for Hemming. Takes the shot, stopped by Bennett. Beaudoin couldn't get to that rebound in time, and he'll hold on for the face-off.
Top line getting another look here. Cole Baudouin now 3 games in his last 14 games with 10-plus shots after another great performance last night.
Well, before the World Juniors going to Team Canada, he was in the top 5 in scoring in the OHL, but because of his absence, he fell off the pace. But just in these last few games, he's already back to 6th overall in scoring, which has been unreal by Cole Baudouin. Puck goes behind the Owen Sound net. Zabeski finds it here for the Colts. He'll go back to Hanser, but he can't keep it in at the point. Hanser will send this back behind the Owen Sound net. Bennett out of his net to play it. Brown taking his time. He's going to regroup here. Colts, they make a line change. Tristan DeLille to the near side. Picked up by Bowie. Bowie gets by Gardner. Skates into the zone. Passes it over. And then Crombie lays out Bowie. Colts go the other way. Zabeski, he loses the handle of it. Tristan DeLille will find it. Attack deep in their own zone. Brown up ahead finds Bowie. Here's Bowie. Knocked down again by Crombie. He's been a magnet there for Calvin Crombie, and he knocks him over again. Fans wanting a penalty, none coming. Zabeski skates it in for the Colts on the wing. That shot to the net. Bennett the save. And the Colts just looking for a rebound. As Zabeski getting a couple of cross checks. It looks like one stick broke over the back of Mason Zabeski. As Pierce Bowie, he's obviously one of the top targets here for the Barrie Colts.
He's getting into it still with Eliasson. He got that first cross check on Zabeski, probably getting his frustrations out after Crombie laid him out 3 times. And I think after the 3rd time, he started hearing it from the Barrie Colts bench.
Well, there is a penalty called against Owen Sound. Elliot Arnett is in the penalty box. So it's going to be a power play here for the Barrie Colts, presented by Frontline Hockey Apparel. You can find them at frontlinehockeyapparel.com.
Eamon Edgar getting another look here with the top unit as well.
And the power play right now ranked 5th in the OHL, 24.3%, while the penalty kill for Owen Sound at the bottom of the league, 20th at 74.9%. So we'll see what the Colts do here. It's a roughing penalty to Arnett. Hemming has it here for the Colts. Edgar passes it across, but couldn't connect with Baudouin. Cole Emerton keeps it at the point. Wilmot down to Baudouin. Cole Baudouin from the corner goes back to Wilmot. Emerton at the point. Takes his time, sets up Baudouin. Baudouin goes to Hemming. One-timer. Bennett got a piece of it, sails back to the point. Emerton keeps it in. Wilmot back to Baudouin. Baudouin has it into skates. Back to Emerton. Emerton sets up Ben Wilmot. Wilmot passes it across. He was trying to set up Edgar, and that puck's going to sail out to the neutral zone. Emerton from his own blue line is Owen Sound's going to change the penalty kill unit. Emerton. He'll drop this one back to Emil Hemming. Hemming to Cole Baudouin. He'll skate this one in for the Colts. Baudouin hits the brakes. Trying to send this one around. He's tied up. Baudouin, though, stays with it. Back to Emerton. Fans on the pass, and Tristan DeLille will skate it out shorthanded. DeLille puts that off the skate of Emerton. Puck rolls to the far corner. DeLille picking up. Power play down to 50 seconds here for the Colts. DeLille just eating more time off this Barrie power play. That's dug free by Ben Wilmot. Calvin Crombie reaches center ice. He'll skate this one in, gets by Brown. Puck's in the corner. Crombie prepares for the hit from Brown, stays with it around the Owen Sound net, passes it back to Gardner. Gardner to Von Richter. Von Richter with a shot right on goal, but Bennett, seeing that one all the way, he's able to make the save.
Well, a couple good looks there for the top unit, but Owen Sound so far pretty strong here on the penalty kill. Like you mentioned, is at the bottom of the league, so a chance for Barrie to take advantage here and extend their lead to 2.
So face-off will come to the left of Trenton Bennett. Gardner is going to take the draw here against Max DeLille. Face-off won by the Colts. Parker Von Richter at the point. Backhand pass to Zabeski. Down low, quick pass. Von Richter at the point. Lines up his shot. Stopped by Crombie as he was trying to get it out of the way. Gardner gets in the corner to Crombie. Crombie across to Zabeski, but can't control that pass. Von Richter gets it again. Takes the shot. Blocked in front. Zabeski takes the shot. Stopped by Bennett. Zabeski gets it again. 5 seconds left in the power play. Zabeski back to Von Richter, just keeps us in play. Over to Zabeski, Crombie settles it down, side of the net. What a save by Bennett! He robbed Brad Gardner. Zabeski gets it again as the Colts continue to put on pressure. Another shot, that's deflected wide of the net. Gardner gets it again. Down to the corner. It's Carter Lowe for the Barrie Colts. Trying to move this one around. He's tied up by Rogers. Crombie digs this one free. That's taken away, and the attack will get it out. Cole Zarowski skates this one in for Owen Sound. That shot off Zabeski. Hrebeck able to make that save, puts it around the net. Von Richter picks it up as trying to deliver that big hit was Wesley Royston. He's just throwing his weight around. Another hit there on Hanser. Royston just trying to get under the skin of the Barrie Colts right now as the attack have it deep in their own zone. Hanser sends us back into the Owen Sound zone. Greenberg knocks it down. Mason Ray up to Kindry. Kindry will dump this one in, ends up behind the Barrie net. Justin Hanser takes a hit there from Kindry as the bodies are flying here at the Bayshore. Kindry, he's rocked there by Hanser. It's like a demolition derby along the boards. Desiderio is going to send this one around to Passmore. Passmore takes a bump as Schneid sets up Desiderio. He'll skate this one out for the Colts. Nicholas Desiderio into the corner he goes, gets by Greenberg, stays with it. Desiderio into the crease, but that's deflected wide and out to center. Emerton comes up with it. He's going to send it right back into the Owen Sound zone. It takes some bounds, and Trenton Bennett not taking any chances. He will cover this up as Desiderio getting some attention there, but my, oh my, what a first period this has been.
Oh, what a bunch of hits there. Wesley Royston getting the party started with a couple of big shots. And then Kindry getting involved. This guy that hasn't played much this season for Owen Sound, playing in the OJHL. But he's laid a couple big hits there. And then Justin Hanser fighting back on him. Second unit there for the Colts had a couple decent opportunities. Power plays were a bit switched up with Kayshawn Aitchison not out there right now. So Wilmot moves up with the top unit, and then Carter Lowe joins the second unit. So,
yeah, things looking a little bit different on that power play, but they were still getting those chances, and especially those passes there. Zabeski, Von Richter, both still looking for their first goals as Barrie Colts, and Zabeski came oh so close a couple of times there.
Yeah, he had a couple nice chances, and a nice pass as well across to Brad Gardner there, who's left wide open, and that one-timer, Bennett makes a huge save sliding across. I thought it had gone in the net, but he somehow got across to make that save. Amazing work there by Trenton Bennett.
Now I'm seeing a comment from Liam. He's saying it's not a press box. It's an electrical cupboard with a view. And you know what? Liam,
he's got a point.
You do, and it's warm in here.
It is toasty.
I wasn't sure what to prepare for coming to this game in Owen Sound. But play back underway. Face-off won by the attack. They're going to send this out to center. Knocked down by Wilmot. Hemming can't pick it up. Nancy skates it in for the attack. He stopped at the line. Nancy puts this one across to Rogers. Rogers takes the shot. Hrebeck gets a piece of it. Puck goes to the corner. Crawford. He'll play this one around to Rogers. Takes the shot. Deflected off the post. Nancy got a piece of it. And he strikes iron. Puck goes to the corner. Bodwin takes it away from Nancy. He'll set up Ben Wilmot. Wilmot back to Emerton. Cole Emerton up to Bodwin. Bodwin skates towards the net. Puck's bouncing. Wilmot shot stopped by Bennett. Bodwin, his pass in front. Deflected. Wilmot sends it back. Wilmot grabbing his chin. Not sure if there was a skate or a stick hit him there, but either way, the attack from the other way. There's a shot stopped by Hrebeck. Gardner sends this one ahead. Went off the skate of Zabeski. He's trying to get this one out of the zone. That's sent out to center. Crombie collects it here for the Colts right at center ice. Drops it for Brad Gardner. Gardner gets back to it, passes it over, goes behind Crombie. Crombie back to the line for Eliasson. Eliasson keeps this one in. Sikora trying to get this one out. Zabeski, he'll send it behind the Owen Sound net. And now we're going to get a whistle here. It's going to be a penalty. It's going to be for a hook. And this looks to be going against the Owen Sound attack.
It was on, drawn by Zabeski. Zabeski was driving the net, and there's Elliot Arnett coming in from behind him as Zabeski was nearly able to get loose as Gardner was open, but was taken down by Arnett to the ground, and Barrie Colts will get their second look on the power play here.
And this is the second power play after Arnett took a penalty. So the Barrie Colts power play presented by Frontline Hockey Apparel. You can find them at frontlinehockeyapparel.com. Face off by the Colts. Crombie hits the post. Crombie strikes iron. We're getting a lot of posts here this afternoon. Colts move this one around at the point. Von Richter gives to Gardner quickly across to Zabeski. Zabeski waits, fires. That's blocked by Roberts. Sebeski gets it again for the Colts. Back to Von Richter, doesn't take the shot. Goes to Gardner, back to Von Richter. Von Richter, his shot scores! Von Richter is first as a Barrie Colt. Unless it made contact with someone in front.
No, Gardner's grabbing the puck.
So Parker Von Richter gets his first as a Barrie Colt, and it's 3-1.
Well, a couple good looks there. It started with Crombie up the wing, and his shot goes off the post, and then back at the point, Von Richter there. A great look, and kind of a double screen as Crombie slides out in front, and Carter Lowe right in front of Trenton Bennett, not giving him any room to look, and a big goal here in the last minute for the Colts has given them a 3-1 lead.
So that's 5 goals on the season for Parker Von Richter as we're in the final minute of the first period. Colts move this one up. Cole Bodwin up to Hemming, cross ice for Wilmot. Wilmot up to Bodwin and rolled on him. He's kind of nudged there by Roberts as the attack trying to regroup. Bodwin back to Eliasson. His shot went off the back of Wilmot. Attack. Get this one out to center ice. Zarowski kicks this one ahead. Got DeLille mixing it up with Hemming behind the play. The attack happened in the Barrie zone. Rogers at the point. His shot blocked by Wilmot. Wilmot trying to get it out. His stick broke. There's a penalty call coming. Eliasson's going to send this one up to Hemming. It's going against Owen Sound. Bodwin takes the shot. That's blocked. Puck comes back to the point. Owen Sound. Well, I thought Zarowski was going to touch it, but he lets it go, and Emerton's going to skate it back. And the Colts are going to let the clock run out. As the Owen Sound attack, one of the most undisciplined teams in the OHL when it comes to penalty minutes, are shooting themselves in the foot, taking yet another penalty here.
Yeah, like you mentioned, lots of penalty minutes coming from Owen Sound, and this one going against Zarowski and for knocking Wilmot's stick out of his hand there and breaking it. And, you know, they get that power play goal to tie the game, and it feels like maybe advantage Owen Sound here, okay? You know, they get the power play goal, they tie the game. Barrie's without Aitchison for the rest of the period. Maybe they can take advantage here. But then 3 straight penalties there by the attack. Even strength goal from Carter Lowe and a power play goal as well from Parker Von Richter. And the Colts, they took full control of that game.
And we've been talking about how in the pregame, you talked to Carter Lowe, and they mentioned that he wants to get that goal scoring going. We got the 2 goals from that line, so Schneid and Lowe. We talked about, okay, Zabeski and Von Richter still waiting for first goals as a Barrie Colt. Von Richter gets it, so it seems as though all these dominoes are starting to fall in favor of the Barrie Colts.
Yeah, all of them have been looking good and getting their chances recently, and they just haven't been able to find the back of the net. And I mean, you look at that period, Barrie outshoots Owen Sound 14-8. They outscore them 3-1, and they did that without the top line getting a goal. Baudouin, Wilmot, and Hemming all held off the scoreboard in the first period. Von Richter gets a goal, Lowe gets a goal, Schneid gets a goal.
Yeah,
it's
so
really good to see.
So it's that third line that's benefiting. And Tammy, I see that you're wanting to see those French fries. We're going to do that in the second intermission, so stay tuned for that. But here in the first intermission, a chance to catch up with Carter Lowe, who just played in his 200th game in the Ontario Hockey League. And I know for this season, it hasn't been one of his best performances as of yet. Maybe trying to still figure out where he fits in this lineup. But now that we're post-trade deadline, we're starting to see where exactly Carter Lowe fits in with his Barrie Colts team.
Yeah, he's done a good job on the third line here over the last couple of games. And, you know, he's added a bit of more physicality to his game. A couple of big hits last weekend against Brampton in his 200th game. Tried to fight one guy. It was Carter Hicks. He tried to fight. Hicks wouldn't fight him. Then he gets out of the box, and he fights Ricci. And then the Barrie Colts, Carter Lowe having so much fun in this 200th game. The Colts score a goal. Then it goes to review, and he's sitting in the penalty box. Goal. Yep. It ended up being no goal, unfortunately, for Carter. But, yeah, it seemed like he was pretty excited to be in his 200th game.
Yeah, quite the memorable night there for Carter Lowe. And we figured, okay, we need to catch up with Carter Lowe. So Josh McCann had the chance to talk with Carter pregame. And here's his conversation with Barrie Colts forward Carter Lowe.
Joined by Colts forward Carter Lowe. Carter, last weekend was your 200th game in the OHL. What was it like experiencing that?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. Time flies. You know, I was telling the guys in the room that it felt like yesterday when I got here. Yeah, it's an exciting year, and luckily I got to 200 games, and it was nice to kind of get a fight under my belt. I know it took me a little while, but I got it there, and it was a fun night.
Was that your first OHL fight?
Yeah.
What was that like? Was that just wanting to make it extra memorable that night?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I kind of had to do something. and you know, I thought it was a bit of a slow start, so just to kind of get the boys going. So it was good to get in the game.
Now, for you, what's the next milestone you're looking at achieving here in the OHL?
I think it's kind of going through everyone's head as a championship. You know, I've been part of pretty good teams since my 4 years, and I think this is probably the most confident I've been in making a good run for it. So hopefully it's a year.
So now for you guys, Emil Hemming talked about it the other day that you're one of, if not the most bonded team in the league. Do you feel the same way about that?
Yeah, I mean, even the new guys after the deadline, I don't think I've ever seen a team kind of gel this quick, and you know, it's a really good sign. I think all the guys in that room are all friends with each other, and it's nice.
So with that trade deadline, you guys acquired Parker Von Richter. You guys go back a couple years. You guys played together in minor hockey. What's it like having Parker in the room now?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice having him on the ice too, just a solid shutdown guy. But yeah, we work out in the summer and we do a lot of hanging out, so it's nice to have him here.
Now you guys are playing Owen Sound 5th time this season. Early in the year, they got the best of you guys, but the last time you guys had a pretty good game against them. What do you got to do to get another victory here tonight?
I think we just got to kind of reset from the weekend and finish off strong. Sunday games are always tough to kind of get into, but I think we'll do a good job and should be good.
Now, road trips, what's it kind of like for you on the bus? What's your go-to meal before a game, and how do you experience a bus trip?
Yeah, the bus trips are always kind of tough, but for food, I usually switch it up. I'm not too picky of what I eat, so it's nice. But yeah, long bus rides are pretty tough.
How do you adjust to a game like today? You guys played last night at 7:30 at home, and now you got to regroup here for a 2 p.m. start.
Yeah, late sleep and then early wake-up's always tough, but you know, it's what we practice for, it's what we train for, so it's just another day.
You've been playing with William Schneid and Joe Salandra as of late. What's it been like as a group? You guys look like you've had some great chances as of late.
Yeah, I mean, we just can't really seem to find the back of the net, but yeah, I feel like we glued really well and we've gelled really well, so hopefully we keep going.
It feels like something that's going on with all 4 lines right now. It kind of feels like everyone's got great chemistry going right now.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like we're getting in on everyone. Our forecheck's probably the best it's ever been, and I mean, yeah, I think it all just kind of goes one hand in hand.
Well, Carter, thanks for doing this. Best of luck today.
Yeah, thank you.
So welcome back to the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center in Owen Sound. It's the first intermission between the Barrie Colts and the Owen Sound attack. Barrie right now enjoying a 3-1 lead after the opening 20 minutes. Schneid, Lowe, and Von Richter, your goal scorers for Barrie, and Mason Ray for the Owen Sound attack. We do have the chat. It's up and running, so if you want to take part in the conversation, you can put your comments there if you have any questions, and we'll discuss that during this intermission. But first, it is a busy afternoon around the Ontario Hockey League, so we'll get right to it with our out-of-town scoreboard.
You know, last weekend in Oshawa, we were in the late game, so all the games were already done, but now we're in the primetime spot. Everyone's playing right now.
Exactly.
Kitchener and Guelph tied at 1 after the first period, despite Kitchener outshooting the Storm 16-5. Brantford and Niagara, no score in that one. Rouyn-Noranda taking on Sudbury in the OHL QMJHL crossover, 2-0 for the Wolves there. Later on today, Ottawa playing Peterborough, Brampton playing Oshawa, and then the last score that I was saving for last, because I think we got to talk about it. North Bay up 3-0 on Flint already. Is there trouble brewing for the Firebirds here?
Yeah, because they lost in Barrie Thursday night. They lost badly in Sudbury. It was a 7-2 final, I do believe, up at Sudbury Community Arena. So, yeah, this road trip has not been kind for the Flint Firebirds, especially for a team that fought at the deadline. I'm curious as to what's going on there with that Flint Firebirds team.
Well, I know Thomas mentioned in one of his hits that they're on this road trip. They're over 1,000 kilometers of total driving that they had to do. So obviously they came up the day before to Barrie, so they've been on the road since Wednesday. So it's a bit of a long road trip for Flint, but yeah, a bit worrying to see that. Obviously, you lose to Barrie. Sudbury was a game you figured they'd be able to bounce back in, but Sudbury just handed it to them, and then North Bay here. North Bay's a pretty good team, but you figure the way Flint's playing, Flint's better than them, but North Bay up 3-0 in the first.
Yeah, so we'll want to keep an eye on that score, and also, too, a big game there between Peterborough and Ottawa coming up at 3 o'clock. So let's head over to the chat, because we do have about 9 minutes until the second period gets underway. And Liam saying that he noticed there are offside sensors on the blue lines and cameras above the nets. New installation at the home arena. Have you heard anything about this? I know we were supposed to get them this season at Sadlin, but seems they put them in last week. My understanding was that, they were supposed to put in all these new cameras and whatnot for the review process, but there were some delays in getting the cameras to all 20 rinks across the Ontario Hockey League. So I haven't gotten any confirmation that the cameras have been put in place, but I wouldn't be surprised, especially here in the second half. They want to get everything into place, especially with the playoffs just around the corner.
Yeah, you want to be ready for the playoffs. You want to have everything covered when it comes to reviews for offside, and those sensors are definitely going to help. Like you said, though, if there was a list of people that were told that they were put in, we weren't put on that list.
We weren't included.
Gene probably knows the answer. He just hasn't told us. He's probably keeping it a secret.
He's saving it.
He's saving it for his own little hit on Thursday.
But it is interesting because with going on the road, a lot of our broadcasts were beside the video coach for the Barrie Colts, and their setup is quite remarkable, how they're able to keep an eye on things. They're commenting and having conversations with the coaching staff on the bench. We'll have to get Connor on for an interview just to talk about his job, because it's fascinating what they do. But they do have access to the different cameras and whatnot, depending on the rink. So they can know when to challenge an offside, challenge a goal. So it is quite remarkable, the technology that's been developed and that the OHL is picking up. And hopefully, if Barrie now has that technology, hopefully that means it's now at all 20 rinks.
Yeah, hopefully, because, you never want to see a game decided, especially in the playoffs, because you couldn't get a good angle of an offside review. And that's one thing about these reviews, is that you have to have conclusive evidence, or else it's with whatever the call was on the ice. So maybe this helps get them conclusive evidence.
Now, if they could only have more communications between the officials and everybody in the arena, including the broadcasters, when they do the review, because sometimes we're still left in the dark. We have no idea what's going on with some of these reviews. So that's the next step. Now that we've got these cameras coming into all the arenas, maybe microphones are next. Because you see that in the NHL. They always announce what they're reviewing before they actually do the review.
Yeah, I think that would that's a smart thing to do. You're kind of left confused by some of these plays, especially with a lot of the reviews we've seen this year. They've been reviewing more stuff just to confirm they have the correct call, and it kind of leaves people wondering, well, what are we reviewing? Especially when it's a play that happened 3 or 4 minutes ago, which we've seen before. Is that they're
reviewing a high stick?
Yeah, exactly. It's they're reviewing a high stick from like 4 minutes ago that no one in the arena is still thinking about because there's been a couple of chances and they focused their mind on that now.
So maybe that's the next step. But Dylan saying, do you think the Colts will go into a rebuilding season next year? And I think for the Barrie Colts, with the amount of trades that they did, bringing in the players, I think it will be a bit of a rebuild. We'll have to wait and see what's the extent that Marty Williamson decides to go in, because a big factor here at the trade deadline is how the Barrie Colts didn't trade away young talent like Sementsov, who was the first round pick in the 2025 OHL priority selection. So I think the Colts are in a good spot going into next year, but there will be, I think, a bit of a rebuild as they enter that part of the junior hockey cycle. So this is going to be the big run, and then next year, Marty Williamson and the scouting staff, I think, are going to have a lot of work to do to see how they can get this Colts team back to where we're seeing them right now in this run.
Yeah, I think obviously it's that's just junior hockey. At the end of the day, they're running out of picks. So next year, it's time to recoup those assets. And I think the interesting thing is, where will they sit in the standings? And I think the fact they didn't have to trade any of those younger guys, guys like Sementsov, guys like Emerton, Jaswal, Justin Hansen, they're still all with the team right now, and they're going to be with the team next year. And two guys that could make or break the Barrie Colts next season, Ben Wilmot and Parker Von Richter, they both have NCAA commitments for next season. However, they could come back to their overage years.
Yeah, so that's where a lot of the commitments and all the conversations are going to come into place. And that's kind of the reason why Marty Williamson decided to take just the GM role for this season, because now he's able to go and meet with potential players for upcoming seasons and go to the United States, talk to those players, and go and see what's going on in those programs. So it's the whole NCAA thing, I think, kind of changes the way it used to be, how it was clear and dry that you go all in at the trade deadline, you're going to be rebuilding for the next few seasons. But now with all the free agent signings and just the way the trades were this year, there's still, I think, a lot of dynamics I don't think we've actually experienced fully as of yet.
Yeah, it's going to be weird to see for the next couple of years. And, I think there's still going to be transitions of guys that, maybe they come back to the CHL or maybe they move on to NCAA. And I think an article written about Dale DeGray about talking about Carter George is a really good example of it, where he was going to trade one of the other goaltenders. He was planning to contend and grab some more players, trade out one of the other goaltenders for some draft picks. But then he got word that Carter George was talking to an NCAA team, and as of right now, that's not allowed. Carter George can't just leave. And
Sure, that's what we thought.
With his entry-level contract, that's what we thought. But that's where I think we're going to see a contingency plan start getting into place, because it's not really fair to some of these teams if Dale DeGray doesn't get word of that, and that's something that happens. He trades Bennett or Kaprowski somewhere else, and then Carter George walks into his office and is like, well, actually, I'm leaving. Then it's after the trade deadline. Owen Sound just can't go find another goaltender anymore. Yep. They have to have guys that are in their system already, and it'd be one of Kaprowski and Bennett alongside a goaltender that's never really played in the OHL, doing a run that you just went all in on.
Yeah, for sure. So we're about 2.5 minutes away from the start of the second period, and Tammy's saying the soccer game they played on the ice yesterday, they should let the kids do that. They were more funny than the adults. And you actually had a conversation with one of the off-ice crew. You mentioned how much you liked that soccer game. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, it's awesome.
They need to do it more often.
No, the first time they did it, it was a group of very sharp girls, younger girls. So you didn't see that physicality side, but a bunch of grown adults yesterday, they were running each other over on the ice. It was awesome to see. And I think we got to get out onto a field or something, the three of us, you, me, and King, and before a game, and we'll record it, and that could be our second intermission.
Well, we got to have even teams, so that's where Thomas West. We can recruit him
West,
too.
That's what we're. Thomas West will make his road broadcast debut. Or Josh Papa as well.
He played do it too.
He played bubble soccer before.
He's got the experience, and it is neat too. The just the creativity with all the off-ice things. That here in Owen Sound, they're shooting brisket on the ice, and everyone in the stands is cheering for the one individual who's trying to get.
It gets rowdy up here too.
It does. Like everyone up here was excited from getting brisket. So every arena's got their thing, and it is fascinating to see how things all work out.
Yeah, I mean, it's always interesting seeing those intermission shows. Of course, you got the fan fit, the T-shirt toss, and
that's a classic.
They get these things out now, and I think they're a bit scary now. Like they
Oh,
fired.
the Sudbury one?
Oh, the Sudbury one goes flying. Barrie in the playoffs last year, that thing looked like it was going to hurt
That
someone.
had heat.
I was up in the press box. I thought I was going to be able to get a T-shirt with how hard those were coming. But yeah, let's keep up the bubble soccer. Barrie Colts game crew, if you're watching this, and let's also do bubble soccer.
Yeah, so the Barrie off-ice team for everything they do in the intermissions, that bubble soccer, that was a win. So thumbs up from us. And now we're getting ready for the second period of play between the Owen Sound Attack and the Barrie Colts. So the Barrie Colts are going on the power play presented by Frontline Hockey Apparel. You can find them at frontlinehockeyapparel.com. It's the third power play of the night, and the Barrie Colts already 1 for 2 on the man advantage.
That's a good point. They got to get the group of refs that sit row 1 as the Sadlin Arena.
Could you imagine if they got into it? Oh, man. Gotta love Barrie fans. But anyways, here at the Bayshore, where there are plenty of Barrie fans in attendance, we are ready to go for the second period of play. Bodwin taking the draw against Jake Crawford, and we are back underway. Face-off won by the Attack. Rogers sends that one off the glass. That's going to go back to the Colts blue line. Bodwin, he'll take his time, leaves it there for Cole Emerton. He's got speed. Emerton reaching the blue line, drops it back to Hemming. ML Hemming through center. He'll carry this one in for the Colts. Over to Edgar, back to Emerton. Emerton with a shot, and that one looked like it went off the blocker of Bennett and goes out of play.
Keishon Aitchison in the penalty box right now. I believe he only has about a minute or 2 left in that instigator misconduct penalty, and then he'll be back out on the ice.
So we get the face-off now to the left of Trenton Bennett. Scrambled draw, ends up in the corner. Edgar after it. The Attack send it around. Kept at the point by Hemming. Up ahead, here's Ben Wilmot. Back to Hemming. Hemming, looking at his options, goes back to Emerton. Over to Wilmot on the near side. Down low to Bodwin. Cole Bodwin. From the corner, trying to bank it off the defenseman. Ends up on the far side. Hemming gets it again here for the Colts. Up the middle, takes the shots, and Bennett, looks like that puck ended up inside his blocker, but still able to make the save.
He stopped that one like it was a glove save, but he used this blocker.
Hey, you got to be creative sometimes when you're in net.
Yes, you do.
They don't ask how you stop it, just did you stop it?
Well, Trenton Bennett at 6'8", he certainly has a lot of ways to stop a puck. He's taller than the post.
Yeah, like his hips are at the crossbar. Face-off won by the Colts. It comes back to the blue line. Parker Von Richter, already a goal tonight. Gives it up to Gardner, down low. Crombie, not trying to go back to Von Richter, but that's taken away by Tristan DeLille. DeLille skates it up short-handed. He's got a lane to the net, hits the brakes, holds on, takes the shots. That goes wide to the net. Bowie, he's tripped up by Crombie, and that's going to be a penalty. As Pierce Bowie was avoiding the collision with Crombie, and Crombie's skate made contact. So that'll do it for the Barrie Colts power play as we're going to get some 4-on-4.
Well, it looked like the Attack wanted a penalty earlier. So right before now, Julian Brown getting into it with Crombie, and then Brad Gardner came in to get involved. And we'll go 4-on-4 here. They're a chippy start to the second period.
There were a lot of hits in that first period between the Colts and the Attack. Royston was the wrecking crew for the Owen Sound Attack. As we'll get this face-off brought into the Barrie zone to the right of Ben Horevic. Tristan DeLille set to take the draw here for Owen Sound up against Brad Gardner of the Barrie Colts. Gardner giving some last-second instructions. He'll step in. Face-off won by the Colts. That's going to go behind the net. Hanser chasing after it. Justin Hanser gets a stick on it, trying to get it out. That's kept in. Ends up back behind the Barrie net. Bowie picks it up here for the Attack. Sends it back to the blue line to John Banks. Banks riding the blue line, leaves it for Bowie. Back to Banks. Banks sends this one ahead to Greenberg. Greenberg up the middle. His shot blocked by Zabeski. Gardner gives it up to Zabeski, and the Colts move it up. Chasing after it is Emerton, but Banks will get to it first. John Banks around his own net. Zabeski with the hit on the forecheck. The Attack still with it. Tristan DeLille carries it through the neutral zone. DeLille on the wing. Forced around the Barrie net. Trying the wrap around, but Horevic able to get across. Justin Hanser He'll take his time here as the penalty to Zarowski coming to an end. Gardner passing this back to Emerson. Zarowski was trying to get a stick on it. Hanser will clear it out. So Owen Sound on their second power play of the hockey game. They were 1 for 1 with Mason Ray scoring on the one-timer. As Owen Sound right now regrouping. Zarowski skates it through center. Has it on the wing. Hits the brakes. Sends this one back to the point. Ray fans on it. Keeps it away from Hemming. Back to Greenberg. Greenberg keeps this one in. It went to the blue line. Ray sending it down low. Crawford with possession here for Owen Sound from the half boards. Drops it back to Ray. Mason Ray trying to keep it away from Bodwin. Puck ends up behind the Colts net. Zarowski after it. 30 seconds left in the power play here for Owen Sound. Crawford behind the net. Hemming takes it and fires it down the length of the ice. Both teams will make changes. 22 seconds remaining in the penalty to Calvin Crombie. Here's Crawford in the neutral zone. He'll pass this one back. Rogers up to Crawford. That doesn't connect. That's going to end behind the Barrie net. Hanser will just slam this one around the boards. Calvin Crombie getting ready to come out of the penalty box in 4 seconds. So Owen Sound now 1 for 2 on the man advantage this afternoon. Braden Rogers speed through the neutral zone. Skates this one in. Taken away there by Schneid. Crombie's on the ice. Couldn't get a stick on it there as it's at center. Jake Crawford back to Tristan DeLille. DeLille passing up to Zarowski. Back to DeLille. He can't get a shot on it. And Harevic, he'll cover it up before Crawford could get there to the loose puck.
Well, good kill there. Now we'll have some more rough stuff with Crombie and Crawford. Now everyone's going to go at it.
Yeah, Crawford going after Calvin Crombie, but now we've got that Schneid and Newton. They're surrounding one black
Andrew
sweater.
as well.
That's Pierce Bowie who's on top of Newton.
Crombie wants to drop the gloves. Don't think the official's going to let it happen.
Now the linesman Haran separating Crawford and Crombie. So Jaden Newton, he's being sent to the penalty box here, as will Pierce Bowie. As Tristan DeLille also having some words there with Ben Harevic. What a game this afternoon.
Well, one thing we've learned about Pierce Bowie over these games, he's a chippy guy, kind of similar to Jacob Terry, and not to the same level, but he's loves to get physical, loves to get into it. Seems like perfect timing that Keyshawn Aitchison would end up back out on the ice.
He wants to be a part of it. So right now it's just Newton and Bowie in the penalty boxes. So Crombie ends up back on the bench. I thought Crombie and Crawford were going to be sent off too, as they were ready to drop the mitts.
Well, they looked ready to drop the mitts. Newton and Bowie went down to the ground. Probably got sent off all 4 of them, but
we still have 16:34 to go in the second period. A lot can happen here at the Bayshore as the linesmen having a conversation with Ross and Wilmets. So they're now putting the penalties on the board. We got Bowie for 2 minutes. We'll see if Newton's number will go up as well.
the official just said 4 on 4.
So there it is. So 4 on 4, and the faceoff will come outside the Barrie blue line.
We'll have to see if this can reach the levels it reached in Brantford a couple months ago in the second period when they all brawled in front of Ben or behind the net there, and Owen Trotz and Eric Van Acker both got sent off. Then they were yelling on the ice.
Yeah, we've got a trip coming up next weekend to Brantford.
That was back when we thought that just I'd come on for the second period and then chaos would ensue.
It erupted there at the TD Civic Center in Brantford. But here in the Bayshore, it's a 3-1 score, 4 on 4 action as Zarowski sends it deep. Zarowski gets it again down low for Owen Sound, surrounded by white sweaters. He's trying to play it. Dives for it. Roberts gets it at the blue line. Sends this one across to Rogers. Rogers flips this one over. Carrying this one up, Sikora. Drops it back to Rogers. Rogers at the point. Drops it back. Zarowski now. He'll shoot it, but that's blocked by Von Richter, and that puck's going to sail back into the Owen Sound zone. Roberts. He's taken into the boards by Von Richter. Wilmot takes the shot, puts it wide. Ben Wilmot comes up with it here for the Colts. He'll send this one to the corner for Von Richter. Von Richter down low for Barrie, passes it in front, knocked away by Rogers, pucks at the side of the net, and Bennett will pounce on that. As Parker Von Richter, a goal here this afternoon, and suddenly he's playing down low in the offensive end.
You know, you see that often. Guy gets that first goal in a while, and I remember earlier this year when Justin Hanser got that goal. Not sure why we're going to break here. There's 15 and a half minutes left. But for Justin Answer there, he scored that first goal, and all of a sudden he was coming into the zone and creating all these chances. And, Carter Lowe as well. He gets that nice play to William Schneid earlier for the opening goal and then goes right back to attacking.
Yeah, I think they took this TV timeout a little too early. So everything a little thrown off here, but I guess that means we got the first timeout out of the way.
Well, the Rogers broadcast didn't know what to do. I don't think they ever went to break.
See, we've got the advantage of knowing what goes on behind the scenes with the TV broadcast. So, but it seems like we're going to be able to get things back on track. And they'll bring this face-off back into the Owen Sound zone. Another 1 minute to go in the 4-on-4 situation.
Hi.
You're confused, aren't you?
I am. Sometimes they go late. They don't realize, but here we're going early.
He was trigger happy in the timekeeper's box. Even the referees were having a word with him.
Knock it off.
Face off won by the attack. Ends up in the corner. Baudouin digs it free. Max DeLille doesn't have a stick. That pass is deflected by Nancy. And Owen Sound will move it up. Turning it around is John Banks. Banks taking his time here. 43 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Greenberg, he's tripped up. Play continues. Max DeLille, he's going to go for a skate. DeLille towards the net. Hrebic guides that to the corner. Barrie Nancy along the board, sends it back to Banks. He can't keep it in the zone. Battle at the blue line. Hemming and Banks picked up here by Max DeLille. DeLille to the net, takes the shot, fires that one over the net. Puck's at the blue line. Greenberg sends this one down low to DeLille. DeLille to Nancy. Nancy has that one taken away by Cole Emerton, and the Colts skate it up. Emil Hemming through the neutral zone. Hemming skates this one in for Barrie, weaves his way back to Aitchison, takes the shot off the post. Kayshawn Aitchison strikes iron, and it's back to 5-on-5 hockey. Here's Bowie into the zone. Emerton, though, blocked his pass attempt. He'll just get this one down the ice. Arnett chasing after it. Icing is waved off. Arnett back behind the net. Quick pass up to Bowie. He's bumped there by Hemming. Knocking it ahead there was Crawford. Colts get it at their own blue line. Gabriel Eliasson flips it ahead. Arnett back to collect it here for the attack. Puts it off the boards. Brown can't get it out. Kept in by Passmore. Passmore shot's blocked. Crombie gets to it. Sends it towards the net. Taken there by Julian Brown, the former London Knight. Brown through center. Weaving his way. Carries it. Takes the shot. Stopped by Hrebic. Colts can't get it out. Bowie, though, he loses it. Puck sent to center ice. Picked up here by Crawford. That pass is deflected. Arnett settles it down in front of his own net. Being chased there by Gardner. Brown can't control that pass. Tristan DeLille gets behind the defense. He's taken into the boards by Eliasson. DeLille continues to battle. Arnett played it before the blue line. Delayed offside here against Owen Sound. Vaughn Richter trying that long stretch pass to Zabeski, but they're going to call this icing, or they're going to, no, actually I think it's offside. So it's an offside call here against the Barrie Colts as they were making a line change. That puck was sent deep.
Well, I think at first the Colts were going to lose their mind. The officials, no, calm down. Hold on.
It's okay. It's offside.
Just wait.
Yeah. How many broken sticks is he carrying? That's a lot of sticks. Are they all Barrie? Yep, they're all Barrie Colts. Oh, no.
No, we're doing a trade.
The trainers between the benches are dividing up who sticks whose.
I think one of them is Crombie's.
And the other one was probably DeLille. Anyways, there's the shot. Hrebic will make the glove save. Now got Tristan DeLille and Eamon Edgar having some words. And Luke Govro going after DeLille. It looks like we're going to get at least one penalty out of this.
Govro's got to be careful. DeLille's helmet came off there.
Well, Govro is stepping up for his teammate. He's shaking his head as he's going off. DeLille looked confused as to what happened.
He doesn't want some word with the officials. Lots of interesting stuff going on now. And I think there was the confusion as well with that offside there because, well, the pass came from the Colts zone, so they had to go all the way back, and Govro and DeLille go at that. DeLille gives Edgar, gives DeLille gives Edgar a chop on
the toes.
knees and toes there, and then Govro goes after him, and he's going to get the only penalty out of this. No one's sound on the power play chance.
So the Attack, third power play of the afternoon. They're already 1 for 2. Face off to the right of Parevic. Tristan DeLille will take the draw against Brad Gardner. It's been a common theme in the face-off dot. These two going head-to-head. Face-off won by the Attack. Banks gets it at the point. Passing this one ahead to Sikora. Down low to Nancy. Back to Sikora. Sikora to Nancy behind the net. That puck bounced on him. Harry Nancy. Over to Pierce Bowie on the far boards. Back to Banks. Bowie gets it again. Pierce Bowie towards the net. Taken away there by Lowe. Carter Lowe trying to regain possession. It goes into the boards. The Attack back with it. Banks at the point. Goes to Sikora. Sikora waits. Fires. Misses that far post. Puck's going to sail all the way back to the Owen Sound blue line. So 1:24 left in the penalty to Govro. Banks picks up speed through the neutral zone. He's going to skate it in himself. Runs into Kayshawn Aitchison. Puck goes behind the Colts net, and Barrie will just send it down the length of the ice. Bennett behind his own net to play it. Both teams will make changes here. Sikora from behind his own net. He'll leave it there for Bowie. Pierce Bowie has a lane, reaches the neutral zone. Bowie gives it up to Tristan DeLille. DeLille back to Banks. Banks sends it over to Nancy. Harry Nancy on the far boards. Drops it back to the point. Banks to Bowie. Bowie again. Down low to Nancy, side of the net. Can't get the shot to go. Goes around the net in front to DeLille. Poked away by Newton. Sikora down to Nancy. That puck goes up the middle. Banks keeps it at the point. 35 seconds left in the power play. Banks over to Sikora. Sikora back to Banks. That pass off target, and that's going to sail down the ice. Jaden Newton gives chase shorthanded. Newton gets to it. He's got Schneid. Waits, fires. What a save by Bennett. As how did the Barrie Colts get 2 alone down low, shorthanded?
Great job there by Newton. Him and Banks battling for the puck, and Newton kind of slowed down a bit, knowing that he just had to battle off Banks there, and then had Schneid as the trailer behind him, gets it to him out front, and tried to go glove aside, and Schneid denied.
Yeah, there wasn't another Owen Sound player around them.
Well, the puck was already stopped, and Schneid was behind the net before another guy comes into the screen.
So 15 seconds left in the power play here for Owen Sound as they'll regroup. Crawford sends it across. Max DeLille carrying this one in. Hanser gets there. Sends it behind his own net. Emil Hemming from the corner. Backhand pass knocked down by Beaudoin. He's chasing after it. Govro about to come out of the box. Here's Cole Beaudoin trying to get a break to the net. Shot stopped by Bennett. We got a penalty call indicated. It's going to be a hook. Cole Beaudoin pointing at center ice. He wanted a penalty shot, but instead it'll just be a power play here for the Barrie Colts.
Well, again, one less player you have to fight off, but similar to that play last night late in the game by Beaudoin, he fights off the defender, gets past him, isn't able to score, but he does draw the penalty. This time the Colts go to the power play. Last night, Hemming and Wilmot were right behind them to score that goal before the power play could happen.
This Barrie Colts power play brought to you by Frontline Hockey Apparel. You can find them at frontlinehockeyapparel.com. Face off won by the Attack. Puck's in the corner. Rogers gets to it. He's going to send it down the length of the ice. So Barrie already 1 for 3 on the power play here this afternoon. Cole Emerton. He'll skate this one forward. Leaves it there for Beaudoin. Cole Beaudoin to Hemming. Hemming enters the zone. Gives it up to Aitchison. Kayshawn Aitchison from the near side. Takes his time. Down low to Beaudoin. Beaudoin sends it back, but that pass is deflected by Crawford and down the ice. 1:28 left in the man advantage as Cole Emerton collects it. Long pass up to Aitchison. Aitchison sends it across. Here's Cole Beaudoin. Skates it in for Barrie. Beaudoin forced around by Rogers. Goes behind the net. Beaudoin back to Aitchison. Kayshawn Aitchison looks to the net. Takes the shot. Stopped by Bennett. Beaudoin gets it in the corner. Back to Aitchison at the point. Sends it across to Hemming. That pass doesn't connect, and Bowie will just send it down the length of the ice. 1 minute remaining in the power play here for the Barrie Colts. Aitchison has it at center. He'll skate this one up. Sends this one into the zone. Gardner after it in the corner. Gardner surrounded by black sweaters. That goes off the linesman at center. Crombie will go back to Parker Von Richter. We're now midway through this hockey game. The Barrie Colts enjoying a 2-goal advantage. Von Richter drops it back to Zabeski. Mason Zabeski in the high slot. Back to Wilmot. Wilmot to Von Richter. Back to Wilmot. Wilmot down low. Finds Zabeski. That's deflected. Von Richter gets at the point. Takes the shot. That's blocked by Bowie. Back to Wilmot. 22 seconds left in the power play. Von Richter passes it over. Carter, shot stopped by Bennett. Rebound. Crombie digs for it, but Bennett able to pounce on that one. As both Zabeski and Crombie were parked right in front of Trenton Bennett looking for that rebound.
Couple chances there. It's the first time we've seen Keyshawn Aitchison on power play today. The first three he was in the penalty box for. I think Scott Ray was looking for a too many men call there on Barrie as Aitchison was going off the ice. Didn't get it, so they'll probably be happy they didn't give up a goal there. Or could have had a pretty interesting conversation going at the Owen Sound bench there. We've seen Scott Ray get pretty animated over the last couple of games between Barrie and Owen Sound.
These games, they get heated so fast. If only they were in the same division. Parker Von Richter sends this one over. Gardner keeps this one at the point. Arnett smacks that one into the corner. Crombie shot stop. Rebound. Zabeski takes it around the net. In front, trying to go to Crombie, but the attack picked that one off. And that's sent down the length of the ice. The power play has expired, as that's going to be an icing call against Owen Sound with 9:09 left in the second.
You know, at least these two teams do play each other 6 times, whereas compared to, Kitchener and Guelph, they're an hour away, yet Barrie plays them the same amount of times they have to go 6 hours to the Sioux.
I know they make the schedule based on geography and wanting the games on the weekends, but, sometimes it would be nice to freshen up maybe the divisions a bit, do a little realignment.
Just as long as the Sioux isn't in Barrie for the...
There's been so many people that want a Northern Division, and they always include Sault Ste. Marie and Barrie. I don't know why.
No thanks.
Schneid sends it over to Newton. Takes the shot, stopped by Bennett. Puck's loose. They jam at it. Carter Lowe is there. But Bennett, he's able to cover this one up, and we'll get a face-off.
It's one of those things about the schedule and with the alignment of teams. I mean, Barrie, they go an hour and a half to Owen Sound, Oshawa, and Guelph and Kitchener. And then in their division, you got almost 2 hours to Niagara, 2.5 to North Bay, 3 hours to Sudbury. And there's some tough traveling throughout the winter for Barrie.
So they make the best of it, because we got all those trips out of the way early to Sudbury. Or at least this season we did.
Next year it'll be all in January or something.
Oh, don't say that. The attack. Get it in the zone, but it's taken away by Carter Lowe. Gives it up to Newton. Jay Newton drops it for Schneid. Takes the shot. Bennett the save. Rebound. Newton jammed at it. Still loose. And the attack goaltender finally able to cover it up. And then Newton was knocked over after the whistle by Banks. Or actually make that Micus. But nothing more will come of this as cooler heads will prevail with 8:31 to go.
We could kind of see that coming as that third line got to the net. When Jade Newton's out there, he likes to cause some chaos down at the front of the net there. Another good look for this third line.
Well, that line, already 2 goals this afternoon, Schneid and Lowe. You just need Jaden Newton to get one, and then you got the trifecta on that third line. So we get the face-off now to the left of Trenton Bennett. Him and Edgar will take the draw here up against Jake Crawford. Still waiting for them to drop it. There we go. Face-off won by the attack. Banks leaves it in the corner. Whereas Owen Sound will send this out to center ice. Mason Ray. Fanned on the first attempt. Second one will go deep. Off the end boards. Govro trying to get a stick on it. Ray follows it up. Ray sends this one forward. Knocked down there by Edgar. Edgar will send this one around the boards. Hanser comes up with it for the Colts. Justin Hanser flips this one down the ice. Chasing after it here is Banks. Banks sends this one around. Edgar will be the first one on it for Barrie. Desiderio sends it behind the Owen Sound net. Edgar gets it again here for the Colts. Him and Edgar from the corner takes the shot. Stopped by Bennett. And now the attack will move it up. Mason Ray, he's tripped up. No penalty. Play continues. Hands are with it. Scott Ray, he's getting animated on the bench. We were waiting for that.
Here we go.
That's going to be down the ice. No icing. It's deflected. Banks sends it ahead, knocked down by Hemming. Hemming trying to pass it back. That puck got stuck on his tape. Ben Wilmot after it. Wilmot gives it up to Beaudoin. Beaudoin back to Emerton. Didn't get a lot on it. The attack get it out to center ice. Emerton, though, plays it across to Aitchison. Aitchison will dump this one in. Into the corner it goes. Wilmot, first one on it. That got by him. The attack moving out to center ice. Aitchison there to play it. Turns it over to Crawford. Crawford skates it up for the attack. Jake Crawford. His pass bouncing over the stick of Wilmot. Roberts collects it here for the attack. Roberts down low. Rubbed into the boards there by Beaudoin. Emil Hemming comes up with it now for the Colts. Hemming through the neutral zone. Up ahead to Beaudoin. Beaudoin into the corner. Peels back. Takes the shot. Send Bennett with that blocker save. And that's going to go out of play with 6:43 remaining in the period.
A lot of action this period, but both the goaltenders have been strong. Bennett and Horebic keeping the puck out of the net here. Haven't had a goal yet in the second period.
Well, defensively, this game has been, or the second period has been more sound, although Colts leading on the shot clock 25-13. As Bennett has been the busier of the two goaltenders here at the Bayshore. Faceoff will come to Bennett's left. Gardner taking the draw against Bowie. One there by Owen Sound. That's knocked out to center ice. There's an attack player down. We got a penalty call coming against the Barrie Colts. Passmore is going to touch it. Took a hard hit. As it's right now Noah Roberts, who was down on the ice. Looked like it was a high stick. So Mason Zabeski is going to go off. Actually, it's an elbow. So an elbowing penalty issued here against the Colts forward.
Well, let's take a minute. Got Roberts up high. There is looking at his teeth. But nothing more. There's two there for Mason Zabeski, and the attack of another opportunity here to get back in this game.
Well, this is
it was a high stick. He tried to elbow him, he missed, and he hit him with the high stick from behind.
Well, I think the official was showing elbowing.
No, he tried. I know you were right. He did show
okay.
it, but on the review.
Oh, on the replay.
He missed with the elbow and then hit him with the high stick.
But either way, the fourth power play of the afternoon for Owen Sound. They're already 1 for 3. Owen Sound within the neutral zone as Zarowski carries it in. Back to Crawford. Crawford sends it across. Picked off there by Brad Gardner. Gardner's going to go for a skate here short-handed. Peels back. He had Carter Lowe with him. Gardner will flip this into the zone. Ends up in that far corner. Zarowski will play it. 132. Still going this man advantage for Owen Sound. Greenberg's going to skate this one ahead. Drops it back. Picked up by Ray. Mason Ray skating this one in. He's got some speed. Down low. Ray sends this one around, but no one at the point for the attack. That's going to go all the way back into the Owen Sound zone. Collected there by Greenberg. Greenberg behind his own net. Owen Sound having a tough time here setting up on this man advantage. Still 1:05 to work with. That puck sent across. Max DeLille behind the Barrie net. Sends it to Crawford. Jake Crawford sending this one back to the point to Greenberg. Greenberg sending it down to Bowie. Pierce Bowie. Down behind the net to DeLille. Back to Bowie. Bowie along the boards to DeLille. That pass deflected by Hanser. Hanser trying to get a stick on it. Newton will get it to the line. And that's kept in by Greenberg. Attack. Send this one deep. That's going to be sent around. Colts again. Get it out. Owen Sound attack. Struggling right now on this man advantage. 28 seconds left in the penalty to Mason Zabeski. John Banks. He'll move this one up for Owen Sound. Drops it there for Bowie. Pierce Bowie reaching center ice. Bowie up to Tristan DeLille. That's taken away by the Colts. Emerton had it for a moment. There's a shot stopped by Horebic. That was Tristan DeLille firing that one. Banks at the point. Over to Nancy. Harry Nancy. Down low to Bowie. Back to Nancy. Nancy sets up Banks. He'll ride the blue line. Back to Nancy. Penalty has come to an end. Zabeski's back on the ice. Nancy trying to pass it in front. Blocked. Another chance. Bowie puts that one over the goal into the corner. Nancy trying to send that one around. Emerton's there. Tristan DeLille over to Bowie. Bowie's just going to send this one around the boards, but no one's at the point. That's going to sail all the way back into the Owen Sound zone. Both teams will make changes. Sikora got a stick on it, but gave it up to Cole Beaudoin. Beaudoin to the net, takes the shot, stopped by Bennett. And he's going to hold on for the faceoff, but That was a challenging power play there for the Owen Sound attack. Only that one shot just as the power play expired.
Yeah, they looked really disconnected there on that power play, and as well, they're after it. Nicholas Sikora, Cole Baudouin's not a guy you want to give it up to in the neutral zone, and he gives it up to him. And Colts rush in 3-on-2 and nearly have a great opportunity there.
I was kind of surprised. There was a couple of plays there where you wanted to move the puck around, but they never had anyone at the point to play it.
They were trying to get it back to the point, but they were passing it out of the zone. It was a bit of an ugly power play there for Owen Sound.
So we've got 4:04 remaining in this second period. 3-1 for the Barrie Colts. All the scoring coming in the first period. And just a reminder, we're going to be doing the French fry challenge, I guess. Is that what we're going to call it?
I guess so.
Because Mike Farwell, he posted on the OHL podcast saying these are the best French fries in the OHL. So we're going to test that out in the second intermission. So stay tuned for that. We will give our broadcast review of the French fries here at the Bayshore.
We got to find some more stuff to review as we go around the league.
Well, as we find out what each arena is known for.
Yeah.
Because I remember back in the day, the Belleville Bulls, they were known for the best popcorn in the league.
What?
So we don't go to Belleville anymore. So I guess we got to figure out, okay, who has the best popcorn in the OHL?
Well, we could make a trip to Belleville.
Yeah, see the Belleville Senators?
Yeah.
Would they let us in?
Maybe. I'll show off my smile.
There we go. Mason Ray is going to send this one deep into the Barrie zone. Aitchison, he's taken into the boards. Loose puck picked up by Baudouin. Baudouin sends this one forward. Emil Hemming leaves it there for Ben Wilmot. Wilmot skates this one in, trying to go back to Hemming. It rolls on net, and Bennett will just cover it up with 3:42 remaining now in the second period.
Another strong period here for the Barrie Colts. Now out shooting Owen Sound 27-14. They've been peppering Bennett this period.
Well, we've been seeing that the Barrie Colts have had some issues with the second period. Like last night, for example, against Oshawa, they had that 2-0 lead. It was 2-1 going into the second, and the Generals just took over that second period.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple times. I think against Guelph. I mean, Barrie was still scoring goals that period, but Guelph was getting a lot of chances. But here tonight, this afternoon, they've done a really good job shutting things down for Owen Sound even earlier in this game than the third.
Colts send this one back into the Owen Sound zone. Bennett leaving it there for his defense. Arnett, he'll skate this one up, facing pressure there from Baudouin. Brown passes this one up. That goes off the skate of Royston. Baudouin sends this one deep. Julian Brown will be the first one on it here for Owen Sound. Tied up there by his former teammate, Ben Wilmot, the two former London Knights. They're actually having a conversation at center ice during the warm-up, catching up with one another. Emil Hemming. Back to the line. Hanser, though, can't keep it in. He's going to dump it back into the Owen Sound zone. Trenton Bennett leaving it there behind the net. Right now it's Brown who's going to take his time here for the Owen Sound attack. Picked up by Zarowski. He'll drop this one back to Arnett. Brown gets it again. Julian Brown reaches center ice, sends this one ahead. Hanser had a stick on it there. Puck goes behind the net. Colts trying to regain possession. The attack moving around to the point. Here's Roberts. Far side of Rogers. Takes the shot. Blocked in front. Govro. He's hit into the boards there from Kindry. Govro didn't appreciate that. Play continues. Edgar skates it up now for the Colts. Backhand pass to Desiderio. Desiderio along the boards. Taken away there by Roberts. Runs him into the boards. The attack come up with it. Braden Rogers ahead for Micus. Micus sends this one deep. Ends up behind the net. Kindry crashes into Emerton at the blue line. Rogers. Rogers to Roberts. Roberts and Rogers, they trade places. As Roberts trying to go to the net. Shoves off Desiderio. His shot blocked. Ends up behind the Barrie net. Emerton will send this one down the ice. Puck's rolling on edge. Not going to be enough for icing. So the Colts able to make a line change here. As Tristan DeLille tips this one deep. Eliason after it. Bowie will meet him there in the corner. Attack trying to send it around. Bowie in a battle with Eliason. Battle ensues. Bit of a rugby scrum here. Carter Lowe trying to dig it free. Knocks it there. Nancy's there as well for Owen Sound. Nancy's knocked over. The attack want a penalty. We're going to get a whistle. I don't think it's going to be a penalty. They just wanted to get this play moving, so we're going to face off.
Stuck in the corner. Owen Sounds had taken offense to a couple penalties that haven't gone their way here this period.
So we'll get a face-off back in the Barrie zone. 1:21 left to go in this first period. So Tristan DeLille ready to take the draw for Owen Sound. In steps William Schneid. One there by DeLille. At the point, Banks. That's blocked, ends up at center. Banks comes up with it. Greenberg back to Banks in his own zone. Forcing Owen Sound to regroup once again. Harry Nancy skates it in. Back to DeLille. Takes the hit from Lowe. Puck ends up in the corner. Nancy diving for it. Eliason digs it free. We're in the final minute of the second period. Here's William Schneid. Schneid skates this one in on the wing. Knocked down by Banks. Ends up in the corner. Carter Lowe is there for the Colts. Back to Von Richter at the point. Passes it to Eliason. Eliason up the middle. His shot blocked. Eliason just knocks over Nancy. Puck goes to the corner. Schneid trying to get a stick on it. Banks comes up with it. Takes the hit there from Newton. Von Richter down low for the Colts. Around the Owen Sound net. Parker Von Richter back to Aitchison. Aitchison waits. Fires. That's blocked by Bowie. Loose puck picked up by Zabeski. Zabeski around the net. Von Richter. Backhand. Hits the side of the goal. Von Richter gets it again. Now in the near corner. Back to Kayshawn Aitchison. Aitchison riding the blue line. Looks over his shoulder. Goes back to Crombie. Crombie to Von Richter. Von Richter takes the shot. Scores! Parker Von Richter. That's 2 this afternoon. As he picks off the corner, and it's now 4-1.
What a shot there from Von Richter. A couple great shots tonight. He's got 2 goals here against the Owen Sound attack. This one was 6 seconds to go. And big crowd out front of Trenton Bennett. And Von Richter able to find the back of the net again. He had no goals with the Colts coming into today, and now he's got 2, and both of them pretty big coming in the final minute of the periods. Those are real killers for the Owen Sound attack.
Well, it's a great job. Aitchison and Von Richter working that point and creating the movement in front of Bennett. And Von Richter just seeing that top corner and able to pick it off. Now 6 goals on the season. So a great showing this afternoon from Parker Von Richter. 2 seconds left in the period. The Colts dump this one in. And that'll do it for the second period as the Barrie Colts extend their lead and are now up 4-1. As the Owen Sound attack just struggling to get anything going right now. But for the Barrie Colts, not a bad road game here so far.
Yeah, they've been doing a really good job. Owen Sound's been sitting on 14 shots for, I think, basically the entire second half of that period. They've not been creating a lot. And one thing that's going to be interesting looking into the next period, Parker Von Richter, Kayshawn Aitchison, we saw them playing a lot together last night in the closing moments. We'll see if that happens again. I think this third period is going to be very big for the Barrie Colts. Looking at the out-of-town scoreboard, Niagara up 3-1 on Brantford, so you have a chance to gain ground on the Bulldogs. Flint has scored 4 in the second to go up on North Bay, so a chance to improve your gap as well over the North Bay Battalion here.
Oh, so you were already peeking at the out-of-town scoreboard.
A little peek to see what was going on.
Well, we will look at that scoreboard again a little later on in the second intermission, but we do have the chat up and running. I see that Liam saying French fries are for losers, the good old British chips, white and fluffy, not that brown burn stuff Canadian-born folks seem to love so much. So we'll see how the French fries here live up to the different standards when it comes to the OHL.
I'm scared. I've never seen someone so
passionate,
so hateful towards French fries. That's not good. I don't think these will be brown or burnt, so looking forward to
see how this goes. So Josh is going to be on the mission. He's going to go down to the concession stand, get these OHL famous fries.
That's another thing I found out last time we were here.
Yeah.
It took about 3 concession stands to find the French fries. They're only at a certain spot, so I'm going to have to go over to that corner over there. So it may be a bit of a trek.
Okay, well, we're going to have the Terry Doyle OHL news. And Josh is going to go on that mission, and then when we return, we'll do the out-of-town scoreboard, and hopefully we'll have some French fries to review. As it's right now 4-1 for the Barrie Colts here on the road in Owen Sound. Number 8, theater, and number 9,
Hello everyone, I'm Terry Doyle. Thanks for joining us on this week's edition of OHL News. Coming up on the show, we'll put a wrap on the Connor McDavid OHL Top Prospects game presented by Enbridge as Team West defeated Team East 4-3 on Wednesday night in Peterborough. That's coming up in a moment. First, this week's Cogeco OHL Player of the Week is Cole Beaudoin of the Barrie Colts. The Utah Mammoth prospect able to pick up 7 points on the back of 2 goals and 5 assists in 3 Barrie Colts wins last week. The 19-year-old who hails from Canada near Ottawa came into this week with 1.71 points per game, leading the Ontario Hockey League this season with 48 points through his first 28 games. He was selected by the Utah Mammoth in the first round, 24th overall in the 2024 National Hockey League entry draft. Meantime, 40 players eligible for the 2026 National Hockey League entry draft suited up at the Connor McDavid OHL Top Prospects game presented by Enbridge Wednesday night in Peterborough. Quite a performance by all as Team West knocked off Team East by a score of 4-3. Nikita Klepov of the Saginaw Spirit was named the West Player of the Game with a 3-point performance, while Adam Novotny of the host Peterborough Petes picked up 2 goals and was named the East Player of the Game. Here is Novotny afterwards.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a great experience for sure. You meet new guys, new teammates. It was an exciting game. I think it was good to watch too. It was a great game, and unfortunately we lost. But I think we played great game, and it was a close game. So, of course, fun to watch, and it was so exciting. And I'm happy to. I was able to be here. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, to get a couple of goals in the game, that must have been satisfying for you.
Yeah, of course. It's always up to help the player, with the confidence, but. Always try to play for the team and help the team. So yeah, I was trying to do my best for the team, and yeah, it was a good game.
What was the atmosphere in here like?
It was awesome. It was great. Home fans for me and Vacker and Kola. So it was great to be in Peterborough. You can feel this, you can feel the support from them, and it was great. I was enjoying every moment of the ice, and yeah, it was great. Yeah, of course it's kind of new, but. I think we built pretty good chemistry, during the day. You have one day to kind of get to know each other. I know a couple of guys from the CHL prospect game, but yeah, it was great experience with the guys. We had a lot of fun, and yeah, it was so exciting.
It's been an exciting couple of weeks for you with the World Juniors and everything else. I mean, how have you kind of been able to reset and get yourself back to it here in Peterborough?
Yeah, I love traveling. Minneapolis, then prospect games, all those things going on. But it's good to kind of feel the thing. Because it's good to know, how to traveling and kind of settle in, different teams, different system all the time. So yeah, it was kind of hard, but yeah, like I said, boys helped me, from in Peterborough, and I think it was pretty good.
What's it like for you to be a representative of Czech hockey here in the OHL and having had such success at the World Juniors and now really for the draft, you're kind of going to be one of the big guys for your country in the draft as well.
It's always a pleasure to put the Czech national team, jersey on. You're playing for your friends back in Czech, for your family, for all the people that are watching, waking up in the morning, watching the games. So it's always a pleasure, and I was super excited to be there, and I think we played a very good tournament too. So it was pretty exciting, and yeah, great group, so it was great.
With 2 assists in the hockey game, on the line with Novotny was his rival from the Brantford Bulldogs, Caleb Malhotra.
It was cool, kind of playing against guys you normally are enemies with, and you get to gel a little bit and kind of learn about them as people. It's fun, so it was good.
How did you find, just the whole week? I mean, you get an opportunity to do some more media sessions like you did at the CHL game, and you get to do it, but at a regional league level to really showcase the talent that plays in this league on a night-to-night basis.
It's cool, yeah. It's more regional, so you're kind of seeing more friendly faces and people you recognize more. But it's like practice just for the next level, and learning this your way around the media really helps. So I'm grateful for it.
You're playing with a couple of guys from the hometown team here, guys you're usually playing against. What was it like to play with the 2 Adams?
It was good. They're both high compete players, so it's easy when you get to play with guys like that when they're going to go get the puck and be able to make plays. And it was weird. Normally we're enemies, we're battling hard against each other, but they're both great guys, and when you play with them, it's easy to start to like them.
Yeah, because in 48 hours you're going to be playing against them, right?
Yeah, we got them on Friday, so it's going to be back to enemies pretty soon here.
Yeah.
What's it like playing for such a wagon in Brantford where you guys have had so much success so far this season?
It's great in some ways where you get to play with the best players and you get to compete your way in night out, and it's in other ways you gotta kind of make a name for yourself and stand out with such great players. So it's I'm grateful for the challenge, and I get to try and make a name for myself with so many good players on that team, and just learning from them night in, night out, different things I can put into my game. It's a great experience for me.
Shifting back to the West, let's hear from Nikita Klepoff of the Saginaw Spirit.
Yeah, it was a good game, a nice experience for everyone. We had pretty good chemistry with our guys and line mates, so I just enjoyed to play here.
And a playmaker like yourself, just having a chance to play with a lot of high-skilled players, I mean, did it feel easy? It seemed like it came pretty easy, even though you guys haven't played together as a group.
Yeah, it was a special event for sure. A lot of skilled players here, and it's always fun to play with new guys and get to know them a little bit. So it was kind of easy for us because we had a great group there and everyone played great hockey.
How nice is it for you to have the opportunity to play with a bunch of guys that you know well from Saginaw, but rolling lines of guys that you haven't had the opportunity to play with at this game?
Yeah, it was a little bit easier to get used to this game because I know Igor, so we kind of know each other, what to expect from each other, and obviously it's fun to play with some other guys from other teams, and it makes it always easier on the ice.
And your goaltender, Stepan Shurigan, steps in, doesn't allow a goal, and or allows one late, and then secures the win for Team West. What does it say for him to have the opportunity to showcase himself in a game like this?
Yeah, I thought he played great and saved a lot of pucks, and hopefully he's gonna get shootout this year someday. But yeah, he played great, I thought.
Nikita, how did you find the environment in here tonight?
Yeah, it was a really good organization, and everything was quick and fun, and it was just exciting to be here, and I enjoyed being here.
And how badly did you guys want to win?
Yeah, we definitely want to win and prove that we were playing in a stronger conference, and that's what we did, and hopefully we're going to continue to keep winning later in the season.
Was UC working you guys pretty hard in practice yesterday, pushing like we're going to win this game?
Yeah, he definitely said a couple of times that we're going to win for sure, so that's what we did.
Yeah, you mentioned Igor too, playing with him. You played against him a bit last year too. Just what have you made of his progression as a player so far this season?
Yeah, he's been great the whole year, and he just keeps getting better and better every day. And it's just always fun to watch how someone who you play with from the start of the year is getting better every day. And I think he's going to get drafted. He's a great player with a great hockey sense, so it's very fun to play with him.
Congratulations to all of the players that suited up.
So it is the second intermission here at the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center. The Barrie Colts right now up 4-1 on the Owen Sound attack. And for this hockey game, the Barrie Colts right now in control. 28-14 are the shots. And while we have a moment, we're going to do the out-of-town scoreboard before we do the French Fry Challenge that everyone has been waiting for. Even Jean Pereira has been messaging me about us and our French fries, but I was responding and I said, this is what the people want.
This is what the people need.
Exactly.
This is what they ask for.
Especially if you're ever going to go on the road, you need to know what's each arena known for.
Well, I saw a couple Colts fans while I was out in the hallway, said hello to a couple fans, and, it could be you watching the game that comes out to Owen Sound, and they're like, hey, Mike and Josh tried the French fries. I got to too. And I'm sure this is what everyone that ever asked about a road broadcast was imagining.
Probably. But let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboards before we get to that.
All right. Kitchener up 3-2 on Guelph after the second period. as I mentioned, going into the third, Niagara has a 3-1 lead on the Brantford Bulldogs. Flint taking a 4-3 lead into the third period over North Bay. Sudbury has a 3-2 lead over Noranda. Peterborough, Ottawa, scoreless after the first period, and then still 2 hours away from puck drop in Brampton and Oshawa.
All right, so this is the moment. We were inspired by Mike Farwell. He does the play-by-play for the Kitchener Rangers, and he had a video. The Rangers were in town, I think it was last weekend, last Saturday night, and he posted a video reviewing his take on the French fries here in Owen Sound. It's a lot of people saying that this is the best French fries in the league. So Josh McCann, I saw him do the lap around the concourse. He got the French fries, so you can show them on screen now. You know, I do have to say, Liam has a point, though, with the crisps. I do like, or chips. I love fish and chips.
Oh, I could kill for fish and chips.
Right? So Josh McCann is now going to do the review.
I'm doing the review?
Well, you bought them, so you might as well get the first fry,
Okay.
the French
Actually,
fry.
I don't want to take.
Why do you take it?
I want to take the big.
All right,
French
you
fries.
go for the big one.
You wanted it, didn't you?
No, it's all you. And we got ketchup.
Got ketchup.
You know, you have to have ketchup with your French fries. And they're probably going to be very hot. So that's why I wanted him to go first.
They're not that hot.
They're not that hot.
They cooled off. I got around.
Now, would you say these are the best French fries in the OHL?
You know, it's hard to say because I haven't had French fries anywhere else, but
I have nothing to compare to.
Nothing to compare them to. But I have to admit, it's going to be pretty hard for any other team to beat because these are really good.
They're pretty fluffy on the inside.
Yeah, they are.
And I'm just coming over a cold, so I don't know if this is the best thing for me to be eating. But you know what? Not too bad. They're pretty good. Those are good French fries.
Yeah.
So thank you, Mike Farwell, for the idea to get the French fries. You can probably enjoy that during the third period. Maybe you can share with Connor.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Connor, do you want some French fries?
Good. So Connor, the video coach, he's going to dive in as well. So everybody's on board. The French fries here, top notch. So I think this is a 5-star review.
This was 5 out of 5?
5 out of 5?
Okay, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. This was a complete success, and
I can't believe we just did that.
Yes.
But anyways, it is the second intermission. The French fries, they are pretty good. Just don't get any ketchup on the laptop, and we'll be good to go, right? As you're stuffing your face. So anyways, it is a 4-1 hockey game in the second intermission. The French fries are delicious. So if you are coming to Bayshore, try them out. And Liam saying that Owen Sound just interviewed that they believe they're being suckered into penalties. And with the attack, we were talking in the before the game with other media people here at the Bayshore. That's been a big problem for the Owen Sound attack is the emotions get the better of them. They're one of the most penalized teams in the OHL. So sure, maybe the Colts are suckering them into penalties, but it's all about the discipline. And right now, the Owen Sound attack having some issues with that.
Yeah, and it's been a really physical game tonight. And when you get into those physical games this afternoon,
you'll get it.
It's the French fries talking.
There you go.
Yeah, but it's been a physical game, and when you're an undisciplined team playing a physical game, it's bound to happen. You're going to take a lot of penalties because you're already undisciplined in the first place. We saw it early in the season with Barrie Colts. Felt like every night the opposing team was getting like 6, 7, 8 penalties or 8 power plays a night. And they've calmed that down over the last couple of weeks, and that's one of the main reasons that the Barrie Colts are one of the best teams right now in the OHL. Also want to say thank you to Richard for saying I did a great job on Thursday. So shout out to you, Richard. Thanks for the compliment.
Yeah, Josh McCann bailing me out Thursday night against the Flint Firebirds. My voice disappeared Thursday morning, so unable to do the game. So Josh McCann stepping in, and I think Josh, you were kind of hoping that my voice was going to be down and out for the weekend.
Well, you were talking like, oh, I don't know, we'll see, and then Gene starts getting my hopes up. He's like, oh, if Mike's voice is gone tonight, I don't think he'll have it ready in time for Saturday. And then,
but then there's okay, we're going to Owen Sound on Sunday. How's that going to work?
How's that going to work? And then Friday comes and you post another video to the channel, and I open up YouTube and I'm like, oh, he's back tomorrow. It's the end.
Well, on Friday, I was at home. I was like, how am I going to test this voice? And I did that video.
It did work out because I had to go from the Sadlin Arena at 3 all the way to the East Bayfield Community Center for another game that I ended up having to do about an hour before that game started. So then I was back from the East Bayfield Community Center around 6:45, 7 o'clock last night. So it's probably a good thing you were back last night, because I wouldn't have had much time to prep before the game.
Now, shout out Josh McCann also does the Barrie Sharks girls hockey broadcast.
Correct.
And that's on, is that on YouTube?
Barrie Junior Sharks on YouTube.
So there you go. So if you ever want to tune into the Barrie Junior Sharks, you'll catch Josh McCann. He calls a lot of those games when he's not doing the Barrie Colts. And
yeah, tune in, but don't worry about when we're here. It's only when we're not live.
When we don't have a Colts
here
game.
For now. Stay here for now.
Exactly. So the players are back on the ice a minute until the start of the third period. The Colts right now with a 4-1 lead, and I'm seeing Liam wants to drive through Collingwood now to get to the French fries. So I'm glad the French fries worked out, but we do have this third period to get underway. And, you know, for this Barrie Colts team, working really hard in that second period, really shutting down Owen Sound, who really had nothing to show for it in that later stages.
Yeah, Owen Sound, they weren't creating any chances at all. Even when they went on the power play, they had nothing going on at all. We were talking about that, and it just didn't feel like they played a good period at all. And now they find themselves in a 4-1 hole here, and it's going to be a tough battle here in the third to try and get out of it.
So it is 5-on-5 hockey as Josh enjoys more of those French fries here at the Bayshore. As we'll get the face-off here, Cole Baudouin set to take the draw against Jake Crawford. As it's 5-on-5 action, we are back underway. Face-off won by the Colts. That's going to be sent into the Owen Sound zone, collected by Braden Rogers. Robert sends it up to Ray. Ray dumping this one in for Owen Sound, ends up behind the Barrie net. Kayshawn Aitchison sends that one forward. Wilmot gives it up to Baudouin. Cole Baudouin skates this one ahead. That shot off a leg, and that's going to go out of play as we'll get this face-off back in the Owen Sound zone.
On the topic of food, I haven't tried it too many times, but in Barrie, if you go to a Colts game, I suggest getting the poutine. It's pretty good, and as well, you know, when you don't get it, there's always someone around you that gets it, and then the smell of that gravy just takes over the place, and then you're sitting there like, man, I want a poutine.
Well, with our broadcast spot in Barrie, the food right in front of us gets us every time. And 9 times out of 10, someone has a poutine. Colts with it in the Owen Sound zone. Baudouin can't hold on to that. That's going to escape into the neutral zone. Wilmot keeps this one in play at the point. Hemming will carry it in, gives it to Aitchison. Aitchison sends it across. Crawford got a stick on it. Baudouin trying to settle it down. It's Pierce Bowie. He'll send this one back. Crawford, though, overskates it. Kayshawn Aitchison on the near side. Aitchison down low to Hemming. Hemming back to the blue line. It's Hanser. Justin Hanser with a shot on goal, and Bennett are able to see that one, and he's going to hold on as the Barrie Colts seem to be continuing where they left off at the end of that second period.
Right back to getting that pressure that they had going in the second period there, and Justin Hanser, nice look, had a solid week, played in the OHL Top Prospects game on Wednesday. It was a +1 in that game. Joe Salandra out of the lineup today and feeling a bit under the weather, but he played good, had an assist in that game.
Yeah, the Colts well represented at that Top Prospects game in Peterborough, and of course Owen Sound will host the 2027 edition. As Louis goes to the net, Hrebeck had the pad down, ends up behind the net. The attack will pick this one up. Zarowski takes the shot. Looked like it may have gone off Parker Von Richter. Von Richter really lost it to Pierce Bowie. Hanser goes behind the net. Zarowski takes it there for Owen Sound. Back to the blue line. Here's Greenberg. Waits, fires, blocked by Zabeski. Ends up in the corner. Bowie comes up with it. Zarowski trying to knock it down. Bowie trying to go around. He's stopped. Puck's at the side of the net. Hanser comes up with it for the Colts. Owen Sound trying to dig this one free. Gardner has a stick tied up. Back to the blue line. Here's Greenberg. Greenberg sends us in the middle. Zarowski shots blocked. Balls to the net. Hrebeck able to cover it. No, it's still loose. Now we're going to get a whistle here. It looks like a penalty against the Barrie Colts. Now we got Calvin Crombie mixing it up behind the Owen Sound net. Can't tell who that is. But either way, it looks like it's going to be an Owen Sound attack power play here in the third period.
I think that might be Bowie again. Yep, it is.
It's Bowie?
He was
He was
the one
mixing
down.
it up?
Yeah, he was the one down on the ground there. His hands are going to the box. They're taking another look, and yeah, he knocked the stick out of Zarowski there up the top of the zone, and then Bowie trying to jam away at Ben Horebic there, and then he gets taken out by a couple of players. You know, one thing I like about those OHL Top Prospects games is the local broadcast still gets to do it. I mean, in the OHL or in the CHL in general, it's the local broadcast up until the finals, and then if you make the finals, you don't get to do it, which is a bit disappointing. But
yeah, that's where the big broadcasters come in and take over in the OHL final. But Dalliday and company doing a great job there at the Top Prospects game. Right now, Owen Sound on their 5th power play of the afternoon. They're already 1 for 4. Greenberg has it at the point. They'll pass this one over to Zarowski. Zarowski, along the boards, goes to the corner. Back to the blue line to Greenberg. Zarowski gets it again. Greenberg, high slot. Near side now for Mason Ray. Back to Greenberg. Ray, fires that one over the net. Zarowski gets it at the half boards on the far side. Drops to Greenberg at the point. Back to Zarowski. Zarowski with a shot. That goes over the net. That's going to come back to the blue line, kept in by Greenberg. Down low. Here's Ray. Back to Greenberg. Zarowski, one-timer, misses that one. And Evan Passmore is going to clear this one down the ice. Bennett out of his net to play it. 1 minute left in the penalty to Justin Hanser. Banks in front of his own net. Tripped up there by Zabeski. Play continues. Sikora lost the handle of it. Gave that one right to Ben Wilmot. Kayshawn Aitchison. He's going to dump this one in. Bennett behind his own net. Banks picks it up for the attack. Bowie passes this one forward. Tristan DeLille on the far side. DeLille on the wing. Hits the brakes. Drops it to Bowie. Bowie down low to Nancy. That rolled on him and Horebic. Not sure where it was. He looked behind, but ends up between the pads.
That didn't look like much of a chance there for Owen Sound. Nancy kind of just floats it on net. Hit it at an awkward enough angle that Horebic didn't really know where that puck was.
Well, the timekeeper wanting the referee to come over. I wonder if they're going to take a look at this.
I thought we were going to break early again.
It's way too early for a break. But they did call over the official. He's on the phone. That's Wilmetz who is on the phone. And they're saying no goal. So the off-ice officials did a quick review to make sure that did not cross the line. So 30 seconds left in the power play here for Owen Sound. They win the face-off. That's just kept in. Good work there by Banks. Pierce Bowie knocked down there by Vaughn Richter. Newton fanned on the clearing attempt. Picked up by Tristan DeLille. In the corner, Bowie. He'll set up Banks at the point. Back to Bowie. Pierce Bowie down low to DeLille. DeLille takes the shot. Stopped by Horebic. They jam at it. Puck goes to the far corner. Sikora trying to play that one around. Aitchison was in the way. Bowie comes out in front. His pass is blocked. And the Colts will get it out. Power play has come to an end. So Owen Sound now 1 for 5 on the power play this afternoon. Banks sends this one ahead. Blocked by Eliasson. Eliasson and Nancy battle at the line. That's turned over. Eliasson will skate it into his own zone. Vaughn Richter in a battle there with Nancy. Attack trying to send it on goal. Arnett up to Nancy. Takes the shot. Horebic the save. It goes in the air. Ends up behind the net. Vaughn Richter ahead for Hemming. Emil Hemming gives that one to Cole Bodwin. Long pass trying to go to Wilmot on a breakaway. Wilmot gets it as Bennett stays in his net. Back to Hemming. Hemming up the middle. Shot stop. Rebound. Puck's loose. Picked up there by Brown. Julian Brown facing pressure. Loose puck. Kindry trying to collect it. Wilmot digs this one free. Wilmot comes back to the line. Keeps it in. Ben Wilmot down to Hemming. Hemming has it in his skates. Wilmot helps him out. Moves it behind the Owen Sound net. Trying the lacrosse move, but puts it over the net. What a play by Ben Wilmot. There's a shot by Emerton, side of the net. Bennett stretching across, keeps it out. Colts buzzing right now in the Owen Sound zone. Julian Brown will pick it up. Sends to the line, and that's going to escape. Emerton over to Hemming. Hemming will flip this one into the zone. Brown gets under that one. Sends this one forward to Kindry. Kindry through center, carrying it in for the attack. Takes the shot. That's going to go wide. Luke Govro picks it up now for Barrie. Govro ahead, trying to get to Edgar. Ends up in the Owen Sound zone. Roberts in front of his net, being chased by Eman Edgar. Mason Ray can't hold on to that. Aitchison at center ice, settles it down, goes over to Desiderio. Desiderio to Edgar, trying to go back to Desiderio. Ray, he'll collect it for the attack and moves it out. Nancy at center ice. He'll dump this one in. After it is Passmore. Passmore in the corner. Leaves it there for Crawford. Crawford across, and Brevik gets a piece of it. Rogers sends this one down low. Aitchison gives chase into the corner. Aitchison ahead to Desiderio. Desiderio will get this one out. That's going to go down the ice. Chasing after it is Luke Govro. Icing is waved off. Govro overskates it as Rogers got a stick on it. Roberts. He'll peel back for Owen Sound, back behind his own net. We've now passed the 6-minute mark of the third period. Still 4-1 Barrie. Colts out shooting Owen Sound 30-21. The attack, moving this one up. That doesn't connect. Icing, though, waved off. Zabeski back to play it here for the Colts. Ends up in the corner. Zabeski head to Gardner. He can't control it. Roberts takes the shot. That's going to go wide. Crombie comes up with it for the Colts. Zabeski sends this one out to center ice. Roberts trying to move this one ahead. Zabeski picks it up for the Colts. Sends this into the Owen Sound zone. That's going to bounce wide. Crombie after it for the Colts. Sends this one around the board. Zabeski in the corner. He'll play this. Takes a hard hit there from Greenberg. Play continues. Gardner has it along the boards. Back to Eliasson. Back to Gardner. Gardner chips this one behind the net to Zabeski. Zabeski trying to play it. Delayed penalty against Owen Sound. This is going to be a high stick. So the Barrie Colts are going to go back on the power play with 12:56 to go.
Big chance here to put this one to bed. That's going to be Lenny Greenberg going to the box, and a couple minutes ago, saw Ben Wilmot trying the Michigan. We had Tayshaun Aitchison do that, attempt it last week in Oshawa. I believe that'd be the first Michigan goal for Barrie since Brent Clark back in game 1 of that playoff series against Hamilton.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have to go back to that Hamilton Bulldogs series since last time we saw a lacrosse play like that. But Ben Wilmot getting a great look there, and he's playing fantastic hockey since coming over in that trade from the London Knights.
Yeah, he's been absolutely fantastic for the Barrie Colts and really showcasing what he's made of here in the OHL. With Barrie, London, selling off a couple guys. Julian Brown here on Owen Sound as well. Traded Sam O'Reilly and Jared Woolley to Kitchener. So London now 5th in the Western Conference and selling off. I'm sure their fan base is worried they're like about to fold or something.
Just because we don't usually see the London Knights sell off, I don't think there'd be panic in the streets of London.
I don't know. They got pretty worried last year when they'd lose a game. They'd go like 20-2 and they'd be just frustrated with those 2 losses.
Oh boy. So the Colts on the Frontline Hockey Apparel power play. You can find Frontline Hockey Apparel at frontlinehockeyapparel.com. Colts moving around in front. Bennett got a paddle on it. And that puck's going to go out of play. So we'll do this face-off again. As the Colts right now 1 for 4 on the man advantage.
Colts seem to have that play set up there. Eamon Edgar down behind the net trying to send it across the Baudouin for a tap-in. They've attempted it a couple times, haven't been able to convert yet. We'll see if they are able to here.
Face-off one by the Colts. One-timer Aitchison, but he breaks his stick. Edgar takes the hit there from Brown. Puck goes to the far point. Chasing after it is Emerton. He'll keep it in. Emerton sends it towards the net. Bounces wide. Arnett sits to the line. Not out. Kept in by Aitchison. Aitchison gets it by Tristan DeLille. Puck's in the corner. Picked up by Edgar. Eamon Edgar to Hemming. At the point, Emerton. Hemming. Down low to Edgar. Quick pass. Blocking it was Brown. And the attack are able to relieve the pressure with 1:12 left in the power play. Quickly sent ahead. Baudouin chasing after it. Icing waved off. Baudouin gets it behind the Owen Sound net. Cole Baudouin doing a lap in the offensive zone. High slot. Passes it over to Hemming. Emil Hemming back to line Emerton. Back to Hemming at the point. Hemming across to Aitchison in his office space. Goes to Baudouin down low. In front Hemming, but he fans on it. And Max DeLille will get it out. He's going to dump this one down the ice. 46 seconds left in the penalty. Royston behind the net trying to take time off this Colts power play. Max DeLille comes up with it. He's going to send this back into his own zone. Braden Rogers taking his time. Now he'll clear it. Crombie tried to get a stick on it. 28 seconds left in the penalty. In the penalty box, it's Lenny Greenberg for the attack. As Ben Wilmot skates this one ahead, reaches center ice. Wilmot has that one knocked off his stick. Max DeLille will get it out. Von Richter dives, gets it over to Gardner. Gardner passing it up, but not able to get onside there was Ben Wilmot as he was dumped behind the play.
Wilmot was still down there as Gardner was trying to come into the zone. It's weird. Baudouin, Hemming, Aitchison, none of them have scored tonight or this afternoon.
Yeah, they've been quiet on the score sheet, but I see one of the comments mentioning how many sticks is Aitchison going to break this afternoon?
Well, everyone's breaking sticks today. I saw the official carrying off the 3 of them to the trainers there for them to divide up.
It looked like they were getting ready for a campfire with the amount of sticks they had.
We don't need a campfire in here. It's already too warm.
So the power play about to expire here. The Colts have it in their own zone. That's Justin Hanser dropping it there for Calvin Crombie. Crombie skates this one in the offensive end, blocked there by Crawford. Ray comes up with it as the power play has expired. So Barrie now 1 for 5 on the man advantage. Gardner inside the blue line. He'll pass this one up to Zabeski. Zabeski on the wing. Takes the shot. And Bennett got a piece of it. Goes over the net. Crawford comes up with it for the attack. Gardner sends it deep. Zabeski after in the corner. He'll send this one around. Mason Ray waiting for it. Trying to chip it out. Facing pressure there from Schneid. Crawford can't get it out. Colts send it back. Julian Brown will skate it behind his own net. Both teams complete a line change as we're approaching the midway point of the third period. The Barrie Colts holding on to that 3-goal lead. Harry Nancy sends this one across. Pass picked off by Lowe, and he's just going to put it right back into the Owen Sound zone. The attack struggling to get the puck out of their end. Schneid, though, blows a tire as the attack get it down the ice. Eliasson bats at it. Nancy fires, puts that one over the net. Puck goes to the corner. Passmore sends this one up to Carter Lowe. Lowe takes the hit. Banks plays it at the blue line. Sends this one back to Munnings. That's sent forward. Max DeLille chips this one into the Barrie zone. Eliasson behind his own net to play it. That pass doesn't connect. Zarowski finds it. Takes the shot. Blocked in front. The attack trying to get it to the net. Zarowski fires from the sharp angle. That's blocked by Newton. Zarowski goes behind the Barrie net. Knocked down there by Eliasson. Play continues. Zarowski on top of the puck in the corner. Zarowski stands up. He moves it. Schneid, his stick's tied up. He's trying to play it along the boards. Newton had it there for a moment. They jam at it. Newton plays it here for the Colts. Ends up in the corner. Pierce Bowie digs it out from his skates. Newton sends this one around. Carter Lowe will find it in the corner and sends this down the ice. 9 minutes left to go in the third period. Munnings has it deep in his own zone. Gives this one up to Zarowski. Cole Zarowski sends this one forward, knocked down at the neutral zone. Max DeLille comes up with it. DeLille in the corner. Takes a bump there from Hanser. DeLille trying to send this one back. Desiderio can't get it out. Now he will. Brown comes up with his own blue line. Chases this one back. Bowie on the far side. Reaches center. Here's Zarowski. Enters the zone. There's a collision in the neutral zone. DeLille and Govro are going to go at it between the benches. As Luke Govro and Max DeLille were tied up. It looked like Govro dropped his mitts, but Max DeLille wanted nothing to do with it.
Well, that started because Luke Govro literally drew Pierce Bowie into the Owen Sound bench with a booming hit. And now this is going to be interesting because Noah Roberts came off the bench there and looked like he was trying to get involved in that. So we'll have to see if anything comes of that.
Oh my, we're seeing the replay now here at center ice. There's actually one of the training staff for the Owen Sound attack. I don't know if he got hit in the face by a stick or the skate. He's being attended to.
Might have been the skate because Bowie went like upside down into the bench.
So the officials are going to have a word here. But my, oh my, what a hit from Luke Govro. And then Max DeLille went after Govro. Oh, so they just announced on the PA system that they're going to review this to see if a match penalty is warranted. So right now, just below our broadcast booth, the referees are on the tablet. So from this vantage point, at least we can see what they're seeing.
He's rewinding and
Oh, don't stand that way. Oh, now there's a glare.
turn the other way.
There's a glare.
Hey, sir.
But the stick attendant on the Owen Sound bench still being attended to. Seems to be okay. Looks like may have been hit in the nose. But what a big hit there from Luke Govro. So we'll have to wait and see what they're going to call this one. They've got Govro with the 5-minute major on the board. But we'll have to wait and see how this all transpires. But they're taking a long look at this one for the run that Govro took at Pierce Bowie. I know for the Barrie Colts, Bowie's been kind of a thorn in their side at times in this hockey game. They've been trying to get under his skin and delivering those big hits.
They've done a good job, though, shutting down his line. They haven't had much going as the two benches getting into it now.
Yeah, the linesman trying to get them to calm down. Looks like Jake Crawford is yelling at the Colts bench. I think it's Mason Zabeski he's yelling at. The linesman just telling Crawford to sit down on the bench, not on the boards. But the officials have put the tablet away, so we'll get the ruling. But it looks like it will be an Owen Sound attack power play out of this. Govro's already been sent down the tunnel. And right now, Wilmets is having the word with Cole Bodwin to understand the penalties here. But it is going to be a 5-minute major. So it's a match penalty for fighting is what they're calling it.
I guess because he just dropped the gloves and DeLille never did.
Well, Max DeLille went after Govro. But either way, so it's a 5-minute match penalty coming against Govro. So a big opportunity now for the Owen Sound attack to get back into this hockey game.
It's a shift in this game. Owen Sound hasn't had anything going for almost 2 periods now, but down by 3 here. If they can get a couple goals, it's a brand new hockey game.
So it's a 5-minute major to Luke Govro. 8:29 left to go in this hockey game. Eamon Edgar is the one serving the penalty. And this faceoff will come to the right of Ben Horebic. Scramble draw, the attack, get it off the draw. Greenberg at the point. Sets up Zarowski, being chased there by Hemming. Drops it back to Greenberg. Greenberg riding the line. Goes to Zarowski, back to Greenberg. Greenberg to Ray, one-timer, fires that one over the net at the blue line, kept in by Greenberg. Greenberg down low to Lil, trying to bank that one in. They jam at it. Colts trying to get it out. They'll get it to the line, but no further. Zarowski fires, stopped by Horebic. Max DeLille making contact there with Ben Horebic as the Colts will get that one down the length of the ice. The attack back in their own zone. Cole Zarowski will skate this one up through the neutral zone. Zarowski carrying this one in. Backhand pass. In front, DeLille mishandled that pass attempt. Side the net. Horebic sprawling across the ice. Ends up in the corner. Zarowski keeping it away from Eliasson. Gets it again. Back to the blue line, Greenberg. Lenny Greenberg riding the blue line. Sets up Zarowski. Takes the shot. Stopped by Horebic. Puck goes to the corner. Max DeLille back to Zarowski. Zarowski sends this one across. Ray to Greenberg. His shot into the crowd. It's loose. They're trying to jam it. Side of the net. Fanning was Max DeLille. And the Colts get this one down the ice. 3:40 left in this match. Power play for Owen Sound. Both teams are making changes. Banks through the neutral zone with speed. Passes it up to Tristan DeLille. DeLille hits the brakes. Goes back to the blue line. Sikora skates this one down to the corner. Back to the blue line. Here's Banks. Near side to Bowie. Bowie across. Blocked there by Wilmot. Ends up in the corner. Emerton hammers this one down the ice. 3:10 still left in the power play here for Owen Sound. Right now the attack down by 3. Trying to get back into this hockey game. Time becoming a factor. As Sikora picks it up at his own blue line. And head for Nancy. He'll send this one deep. Horebic out of his net to play it. Nancy takes the hit from Aitchison. At the point, Banks down to Nancy. Sets up Bowie. Back to Nancy. Harry Nancy around the Barrie net. Passes this one to Sikora. Back behind the Barrie net. Tristan DeLille after it. Puck's bouncing. Bowie can't get a stick on it. Aitchison will and gets this one down the length of the ice. Power play now down to 2.5 minutes. The Attack have to come back to pick it up behind their own net. And it's Greenberg. Gets to the blue line. Drops it there for Mason Ray, who will leave it now for Zarowski. Zarowski carries this one in. Sends it across to Ray. He loses it. Bodwin's just going to send it back out to center. 2:10 now left. Here's Max DeLille, but that's going to be an offside call against the Owen Sound Attack. And now Gabriel Eliasson going nose to nose with Zarowski. Those two continue to have words.
Well, almost 3 minutes done on this power play, and Owen Sound again just not really doing anything. Ben Horebic needs a water bottle change.
I was wondering what went flying down the ice.
Well, that's cool to see how that works. He just throws the water ball, and then equipment manager rolls another one back. And
if we ever threw a water bottle, everyone just looks at us.
Yeah, we'd get kicked out. And it's not fair. I want to throw a water ball.
So because of that offside call, they're having a lengthy conversation as to where to have this face-off. Dylan Smoskowitz and the coaching staff are upset because it looked like they're going to take the face-off back to the Owen Sound blue line, but now it's coming back to the Barrie blue line. They're pretty upset. Oh, man. So the Colts win the face-off. Bodwin's going to send this one into the Owen Sound zone. Mason Ray back. He has Hemming on him. Greenberg in the corner. Tied up by his own man. Greenberg will skate it around the net. Lenny Greenberg skates this one up. Drops this one back to Mason Ray. 1:50 left in the man advantage. Ray up to Max DeLille. That pass blocked by Hanser, and the Colts get it out. Trenton Bennett was going to make his way to the bench. Bennett behind the net. We'll leave it there for Jake Crawford. Crawford dropping it back to Greenberg. Bennett's looking to the bench for instructions. He's going for the extra attacker. Here's Crawford. Back to Ray at the point. Back to Crawford. Crawford across. Zarowski fires. Blocked by Lowe. Zarowski gets it again. It's a 6-on-4 situation right now for Owen Sound. Mason Ray back to Zarowski. Zarowski fires into the crowd, and it goes over the net. Max DeLille gets it in the corner. Back to Greenberg. Greenberg's pass blocked by Gardner. He'll put it down the ice. It's an empty net, so Zarowski has to come back to pick it up himself. Trying that long pass up to Ray. Royston drops it back for Ray. Ray sending this one around. Nancy on the far corner. 48 seconds left in the power play. Nancy to Ray. One-timer kicked aside by Horebic. Empty net. Down the ice it goes, and right down the middle as Carter Lowe gets his second of the afternoon, and it's now 5-1 Barrie.
Well, after Carter Lowe's performance today, I think the entire Barrie Colts roster is going to be lining up for an interview on Thursday night against the Ice Dogs. His second goal of the afternoon. Nancy flips it down low. The one-timer stopped by Horebic. The rebound comes out to Carter Lowe, who finds the back of the net. Barrie now up by 4, and they're 40 seconds away from completely killing off this 5-minute power play.
So Bennett back in his nets. So Carter Lowe now 7 goals on the season, second this afternoon. As the Colts have opened up a 4-goal lead. Banks centers the zone. He'll send this one deep. Von Richter behind the net. He'll just send it down the length of the ice. 3:47 left to go in the hockey game. Bennett, he'll leave it there for Pierce Bowie. Bowie ahead for Nancy at center. Back to Bowie. That pass disrupted by Wilmot, forcing Sikora to come back. Sikora through the neutral zone. He'll skate this one in. Nicholas Sikora from the half boards. The power play has come to an end. So it's back to 5-on-5. Sikora fires. That's blocked by Von Richter. And that's going to go out of play with 3:21 remaining. As the Owen Sound Attack had that 5-minute major to work with, but the Barrie Colts finding a way to shut it down.
Well, Barrie Colts, they've done a pretty good job this season on those 5-minute penalty kills. The only other time I can think of was in Sault Ste. Marie against the Greyhounds. And The only goal that they only allowed one goal against there. Unfortunately, it was the game tying goal, but it was on a 5-on-3 during the 5-minute major. So at 5-on-4 in 5-minute majors, Barrie Colts have allowed 0 goals this season, despite having 2 of them.
Well, it's quite remarkable. Just the turnaround the penalty kill unit has had this season is it was at the bottom of the OHL for that first quarter of the season. And you were having that conversation with, I think it was Ben Horebic, or was it Horebic? And he was telling you how, yeah, they wanted to go back to the old way of doing things. And as soon as they made that adjustment, this Colts penalty kill has been one of the tops in the OHL.
I think that's the most interesting part. It was the worst in the league. And there wasn't really that like transition period where it started to show signs of turnaround. It was bad, and then it just became good. It was one day. They turned it around. Flip of the switch, exactly. It looked like they were penalty kills were going to cost this team, and then all of a sudden the next day it's one of the team's strengths actually now.
Yeah, they have now done a phenomenal job this afternoon. Owen Sound 1 for 6 on the power play, and that includes that 5-minute major that the Colts are even able to score shorthanded with that empty netter. So the Colts get it back into the Owen Sound zone. Here's Arnett facing pressure from Edgar. Brown up to Kindry. Kindry passes it up to Royston, back to Kindry. Puck goes to the corner. Hanser protects the puck, takes a bump into the corner. Crombie trying to move it. Desiderio along the boards. He's going to take his time. Taking time off the clock, now gets it out to center. Edgar trying to play it. Brown. Back to Arnett. Puck comes to the near side. Picked up there by Royston. He's going to dump it in. Justin Hanser deep in his own zone behind the net. Hanser trying to send it around, had an attack player in the way. And that ends up going out of play with 2:33 remaining.
Well, Barrie Colts 2:30 away from another 6-point weekend, making it back-to-back and heading into another 3 and 4 next week. A couple division rivals in Niagara and Brampton, and then that big matchup with the Brantford Bulldogs.
And of course, both Brantford and Ottawa in action this afternoon. So depending on those results, the Colts could gain ground on one of those 2 East Division leaders. As we'll keep an eye on that score as the game comes to an end. Schneid shot off the side of the net. Schneid takes a bump there from Roberts. Ends up in the corner. Carter Lowe, 2 goals this afternoon, takes it away towards the net. That's blocked. The attack come up with it. Here's Max DeLille through the neutral zone. He'll send this one deep. Passmore back to play it. Sikora on the forecheck. Sikora. Zarowski, that's stopped by Horebic. Schneid will take it behind his own net. Puck's turned over. Sikora behind the Colts net. He'll send this one back to the blue line. There's the shot. That was Munnings who fired it. Ends up going wide. Zarowski. Again for Owen Sound. That shot goes off the shoulder of Horebic and out of play.
You mentioned some other teams in action of note for the Barrie Colts. Flint has beaten North Bay. Ottawa and Peterborough are tied at 1. And the Brantford Bulldogs came back but lost in overtime to the Niagara Ice Dogs.
So the Ice Dogs win on home ice against Brantford.
Now it's 3-1. Brantford scores 2 in the third to make it 3-3, and then the Ice Dogs win it in overtime.
So that would mean, if my math's correct, if the Colts do win this one, they'll be 4 points back of the Bulldogs for top spot.
I think you're right.
Thank you.
It was Roberk with the overtime winner.
I know math wasn't my strong suit in school, but sometimes I can do it. Puck's deep in the Barrie zone. Von Richter trying to play it. The attack putting on more pressure. Crawford behind the net. Jake Crawford in a battle with Beaudoin ends up back at the point. Banks looked like it escaped the zone, but play continues. No, it was offside. So late whistle there. So they're going to bring this face-off out with 1:20 remaining.
So Owen Sound team 1-9 in their last 10. They've lost 4 straight. And seems pretty clear watching them play. They don't seem connected as a group right now, and this is far-fetched from the team that we saw back in September and October here at the Bayshore.
Well, it's a tale of 2 teams, really, from the start of the season. Everyone was talking about the strong play of the attack and whether they'd be able to win the Midwest Division, and then the injuries just piled up, and this is a young team. They're going to have a good core next year as long as they can get players to return. They got a lot of draft picks in that Carter George deal. So this Owen Sound attack team, if everything comes together, should be in the mix. But right now we're in the final minute of the third period. Passmore shot blocked by Kindry. Puck's at the side of the net. Brad Gardner will find it here for the Colts. Gardner back to the blue line for Eliasson. Takes the shot. That goes over the net. Bouncing off the back of the goal. Hemming comes up with it. That's taken away by Kindry. Kindry can't get it by Eliasson. Hemming sends this one to an open wing. Beaudoin gives chase. Roberts will tie him up. Loose puck. Gardner up to Beaudoin, across to Hemming. One-timer stop, rebound, and Beaudoin puts it wide of the net. Hemming trying to tuck it around, but that stays out. Passmore gets it back with a point. 17 seconds remaining. Down low, it's Beaudoin. From the corner, sets up Eliasson at the point. Back to Beaudoin. Beaudoin fires, and that's off the back of the leg of Hemming. He's down on his all fours, as that's going to sail out to center ice. Passmore looks at the clock. Hemming now just getting to his feet. But that will do it. The Barrie Colts with a 5-1 victory extend their point streak to 10 games. As it's a big win here for the Barrie Colts.
Two teams going to fight over who gets to keep the puck now. And
of course,
you keep it. No, you keep it. I'm sure those are definitely the kind words that are being said right now. And Owen Sound kind of sticking around here. And well, I'll say thanks to the crowd, obviously, but there were a couple of them kind of looking over, like things make it a bit more interesting.
But a very spirited game. Now we got Royston actually coming over and having words with Hanser and Beaudoin. The referees, of course, wanting to get between those two as Royston still chatting it up with Justin Hanser. But
well, this seems more relaxed. Like the officials aren't getting in between them. They're just kind of hanging around. Like maybe it's two friends.
You never know. But the Barrie Colts getting the win here on the road against the Owen Sound Attack. A big victory here for Barrie, extending that point streak to 10 games. We did hear that the Brantford Bulldogs losing in overtime, so that means 4 points separate the Bulldogs and the Colts. We'll now just have to wait what happens with the Ottawa 67s and their game against the Peterborough Petes. But when you break it down, this is a Barrie Colt hockey that we talked about in the pregame, and we saw it here for another example.
I think Dylan Smoswitz's got 3 efforts this weekend that he's going to be very happy about, similar to last weekend. The Colts continue to play some great hockey, and they're going to look to carry it into probably the biggest week since the trade deadline. You got Niagara Thursday, Brantford Sunday, 2 big matchups for the Barrie Colts.
So right now, just waiting for the 3 stars. Looks like the internet right now is slowing down, but thankfully our stream is still going. But still, the Barrie Colts big road games next weekend. You already touched on it. You got Niagara on Thursday. We'll have that broadcast here on the channel, and then we're back at home against Brampton before going to Brantford on the Sunday afternoon. So in a week today.
Yeah, we got a pretty busy schedule coming up. 7 of the next 8 are on the road, or 5 of 6 maybe, and then I think 6 of 8.
Well, look at you now doing the math.
I'm doing the math. Do the math.
Do the math.
Yeah, so we'll go to Brantford this weekend. Then after that, it's Flint and Saginaw, and then we got a 3-3 after that. Brampton Friday, North Bay Saturday, North Bay Sunday. Nothing like spending your Super Bowl Sunday in North Bay.
I'm so glad that you can keep track of the schedule with the top of your mind.
When you do stuff for a couple teams, you got to get that schedule straightened out pretty early.
Well, right now, I'm trying to get the 3 stars to load.
3rd star was Carter Lowe. 1st star was Parker Von Richter. I didn't get the one in the middle.
Okay, well, because we need to do this, our 3 stars presented by Craighurst Crossing, by Georgian Communities, New Homes, minutes from North Barrie, where inspired living meets small town charm. And what would you say the 3 stars were?
3rd star was Carter Lowe.
There we go. You got it.
3rd star Carter Lowe, 2 goals, no assists on the afternoon. Was also a +3. 2nd star William Schneid, a goal and an assist, including the opening goal, +2 on the night. And then your buddy Parker Von Richter, 1st star of the game, with 2 goals and an assist, +3. Von Richter, those 2 goals as well are just so big. I mean, getting them in the final minute, real killers for the attack. I mean, obviously 2 goals lead is tough to come back by, but when it gets to 3 goals, that's got to be pretty disappointing.
And you touched on it. It's pretty big here for the Barrie Colts. It wasn't the top line getting all the goal scoring. Carter Lowe with a pair, Parker Von Richter with a pair, also William Schneid. So it's the depth scoring and the blue line contributing with the offense, which you need, especially when you want to get into the playoffs. You need that depth scoring, and the Colts had that in spades here this afternoon against the Owen Sound attack.
Yeah, it came up big. I mean, a third-line winger, two third-line wingers, and a defenseman with 4 goals this season are guys getting you the goals to date. And Parker Von Richter, he's 5th in the OHL in shots among defensemen. So as long as he keeps sending those shots to the net, more and more goals are going to come. But he was brought in here to be that shutdown defenseman, and so it's good to see him get a couple goals for the team tonight.
So that's it for us here at the Bayshore. We did give the thumbs up on the French fries during the second intermission, even the thumbs up from video coach Connor here. So it was a great game here for the Barrie Colts, the 5-1 victory on the roads. That'll do it for us. For Josh McCann and Mike Poirier saying so long, and we'll talk to you on Thursday evening when the Barrie Colts travel to St. Catharines to visit the Niagara Ice Dogs.